your hands, everybody, and everybody clap your hands. We lambda, 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 and Omega move. And we've come here on stage tonight to do a show for you. We got a rockin' rhythm and a high-tech sound that'll make you move your body down to the ground. We got Poindexter on the violin, and Lewis and Gilbert will be joining in. We got Booger Presley on the mean guitar, and a rap by little old me, Lamar. We got Takashi beating on his gong. The boys and the moves are clapping along. And just when you thought you seen it all, along comes a lambda 4-foot tall. So won't you come on out here on the floor, so we can work our bodies like never before. Break.
I just love that. And Ed takes off as soon as he gets in here. So.
Oh, there's a ghost.
What's up, guys?
Not
much. How's it going?
Patrick.
Not bad. Lost some snow today.
Yeah, it was really warm here today.
Yeah, we were like in the 50 degrees here.
Yeah, like everything was melting.
Yeah, it was like almost 40 here.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's warm. That's cold for me. So.
Well, yeah. Well, you live in California, so
Oh,
you guys complain anything that's under like, you know.
Well, I mean, in an hour,
60 degrees.
In an hour, I could be at 7,000 feet. So
Right.
Yeah.
Hi, Andy. Travis.
It's actually the South Texan in me that really will Carrot Top be calling in no, and he won't be calling in. So that's where I did get the idea. I even credited Eddie Trunk before I came up with this. I said, hey, I saw this on Eddie Trunk. I wasn't trying to say it was my idea. Definitely not my idea. So, but that's where I got the inspiration, was from Eddie Trunk. I didn't even hear the episode though. So I've not listened to that episode yet. I usually listen to that when I'm in my car. So, but yes.
Hey, George.
So if anyone doesn't know, tonight and everybody are more than welcome, especially since there's only 5. So you can like list your celestial band, your heavenly band, So
what's that song?
The Rules.
The Righteous Brothers did a song like that. There was a band in heaven.
Yeah. So the rules are: you have to have a lead singer, a guitar player, a bass player, a drummer, and you can have one flex musician, whether it be another guitar player, a keyboard player, or say a percussionist. So there you go. Those are the rules.
What about like tambourine?
Well, if you want
Could
to
you-
waste your,
That's percussion.
if you want to waste your thing,
Yeah, you're right. Backup.
That's a
singer?
percussionist. That falls under percussion.
if you want to waste your time and your person on a tambourine player, then feel free.
Oh, excuse me.
Could be. Bullfrogs are out today.
Yeah.
They haven't gone into hibernation yet.
I'll tell you though, I took this kind of seriously, and it took a while to go through some of it, but I think I got it.
I took it seriously, but I found out that one of the persons I had on my list wasn't dead.
Oops.
Oh, yeah,
I know
that's
there's one guy. I was like, damn it! I wish he was dead.
Why are you still alive?
Yeah.
Why are you living?
I was like,
No,
we're
we're not going with trio. Well, I mean, if you want to go with the trio, you can. So, I mean, I guess you can. I mean,
yeah,
I'm not going to kill you.
You could have done a 2-piece like
you can't go over. How's that? You can't go over.
the dead white stripes.
Oh, Andy, I did get it. It came up. I got it. It says I know your last name. I'm not going to say it on here, but I know it, Andy G. I know it's you. Yeah.
I can tell you his last name. It's Andy.
Well, no, I don't want to say it on here in case he doesn't want to.
I didn't declare her dead. I said, is she still alive? I didn't say she was dead. I asked if she was alive. That's all I did. I didn't say she was dead. I also asked if everybody in Savoy Brown was dead.
Thank you, by the way, Andy.
So,
How's John tonight?
I'm okay,
Up,
just
John?
getting situated.
Yep.
so we were laying down the ground rules. So yeah.
Yeah, the rules. I see all these different rules now.
Well, I
Actually,
mean,
they're so easy.
I'm in. I'm in with all the rules. I'm fine,
So,
but I never saw a flex
I was on-
musician.
well, I figured it'd be
I
easier
was
that
on your
way.
side,
If,
John. I
if
think
I
we
call it
could
the flex
have
musician,
6
that way
people,
you can put a percussionist if you want a percussionist,
I
extra
guess.
guitar player, or a keyboard player. So
Yeah, that's
Rhythm guitar came with rock and roll. You know, I don't know about this flex. Like it's like extra bonus.
Well, you could either have a rhythm guitar player or a keyboard player.
Why
or
do
a
people have to
percussionist.
argue always the rule? I don't
No,
understand.
I'm just being a wise
It's
guy.
like the vinyl tag all over again. You know.
Oh God! Don't
geez.
mention that shit.
You know,
God
like
damn.
give me a break, man.
What
Like
is up with that?
It's fun. It's fun to argue.
Yes,
Yeah.
I don't mind arguing. I mean, it's like I love
until
arguing.
somebody comes and smacks you, and then it's not fun anymore.
No,
Oh.
it's not fun to fight, but to argue is different. You know.
So speaking of fighting, so this morning I told the story on the auction, but so this morning I had to get up at 5 and drive down across town because it's the monthly antique fair where
Oh yeah.
and the guy that I always buy records from, he goes to storage lockers and buys them. He always has like 10 boxes of records, and there's usually some good stuff in there. So I get there early, and other people get there early too. So I'm sitting there; it's still dark, and I've got a light. People like walk around with miners' helmets, and
Nice.
and so we're sitting there, and he's like waiting. He's emptying his van. His name's Lance. And so there's this other guy there that I've seen. We've seen each other before, but so he comes out, he gets a box of records, and he comes over, he puts it in front of me, and so I start looking at it because I've been there for about 10 minutes, right? And so this other guy, the guy that was there, says, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm looking through this thing, man." He's like, "Going." I said, "I was here first." I was going, "Dude, I was here like I've been here for 10 minutes. You weren't even here." He's like, "Going, well, I got here like 40 minutes ago," and I'm like, "Going, whatever, dude." So I'll go look through this box, and then the next box came over, and I started looking through that one. So we're sitting there, and more boxes come out, and so this guy, I'm looking over, and this guy is looking through 2 boxes, like doing the 2-hand thing.
Yeah.
And so this guy comes walking over and comes in, and this guy, and the guy that has the records, brings out a box of gospel records and puts it down next to the guy doing the two finger crawl. And so the guy that came around starts looking at the gospel records, and he goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's like, "Going, I'm looking for these records." So that guy brought them out there for me. The guy's like, "Going, dude, you've got 2 hands, one in each box. What are you going to do? You're going to grow a 3rd hand?" He goes, "Yeah, it's my dick." And I was like, going, they started yelling at each other, literally. And they were like, "Fuck you, no, fuck you." And I'm like, going, holy shit, these guys are going to fucking fight. You're right in front of me at 6 a.m. over a fucking
gospel records.
Gospel records.
Fisticuffs over gospel
They're
records.
those are real nerds right there. Those are
I was
fucking
like,
nerds.
going,
Gospel
holy
records fighting over it. At least a
shit.
fight
They're
over a
not
good
nerd.
record.
They're not really nerds. They're like pirates at that point. It's like
They're
money
idiots.
fiends. Like nerds will sit here talking about dates and arguing about
All right.
better
They're a bunch
bass
of
players.
idiots.
Like these are like, they're fiends. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Right,
Hey
so I'm
Vince,
gonna-
I got
Yeah,
double
I'm
that. Is that a
I'm
Triumph
gonna-
shirt?
I'm going to star all of the
Never
and Mark,
surrender.
and you do this too, Mark. You star anybody who posts like a group. Put a star.
Oh,
on it.
okay, all right.
Oh,
I will do
replica.
that.
So I am so curious what the drummer fucking Vance is going to have in his band. It's just killing me.
Killing me.
Yeah, laugh it up.
I poured a lot into this one, and what a dilemma I have. I
Like I
have
said,
2 great bands.
I had one guy on my band for like hours that wasn't dead. So
Sharon, but
Oh, no.
who would headline John? Band number 1 or 2?
I was like going, I got it made. I had John Sykes in my band. I was like, oh, this is gonna be fucking awesome. I go, wait, John Sykes isn't
John
dead.
Sykes.
I got what I think is like maybe the ultimate rock and roll band for like 69, 71 period.
Oh.
And then I just got a cool 2nd tier rock and roll band, which maybe I will go with instead of doing like the group that's going to blow all yours out of the water.
Mine's probably 78 to
I'd say
80.
do the one that's gonna blow them all out of water, bro.
And I don't want to sound insultive, but the main problem that I had with my list is that because I'm look, I don't know how old John is, Bip Bop Boom, but I'm gonna guess that we're probably similar in age, but I find that most of the people that influence me and I love are still actually alive. That's why I had such a hard time, because a lot of these people that maybe you guys pick that are dead, I probably wasn't even alive for some of these people that are like people pick Hendrix. I wasn't even born when he died already. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like how
actually
can you?
born? I mean.
No, but it does.
you're
How
aware
was
of
that?
him.
How was that influential? He was not.
I don't know.
influential
We
to me.
kind of grew up with Hendrix.
Influential. The whole
We
thing
grew up
isn't
with
about
Zeppelin,
influential.
Hendrix.
No, I know, but
and
I'm
the
saying that
Stones, like-
I picked a band that of people that I would love to see in a band together, or a band that I would love to like.
Yeah, it doesn't
Manage.
matter.
I don't want to give anyone away, but like you love Bowie. Clearly, you were very young or weren't around during Ziggy the heyday, But like Mick Ronson would be a perfect pick for a band. And I'm not,
Yeah.
hopefully, but that would, you can't really, I don't know. You could certainly have people that were before your time, and it would
Oh no,
be very
I know,
relevant.
but I'm just saying that a lot of when it came to certain things, like as a guitar player, for example, you just made the perfect example. As a guitar player, most of my influences are still alive. Alex Lifeson, Tony Iommi, Paul Gilbert. These guys are nowhere near dead yet. Well, Tony might be, but
I was thinking rhythm guitarists. I'm like, all my favorite rhythm guitarists pretty much are alive.
Yeah.
So
that's what made it tough.
But
right?
the ones that would have worked in this band.
Like Marriott could have played for you.
Like every Kiss guy, for the exception of maybe like Mark St. John, are alive. Every Kiss person's pretty much on this planet still. So you can't pick any of them. And even for Vance, it must be tough because the only person from Zeppelin that's not on this planet anymore is Bonham. So you can't pick any of the other ones, right?
Well, I put it
so narrowly though. It's so
No,
narrow.
I'm not picking it because these are people that if I want to make a band, I want to make it with people that I actually like.
Alex Lifeson isn't dead.
Oh, Corey Seifert.
I
don't know.
He's not dead.
It's people who are dead. We're doing.
Yeah.
Vinnie Colaiuta isn't dead.
And neither is Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart's touring. We might go see him playing with Cheap Trick and look like a good set, or at least he did in the last leg.
Oh. I haven't seen that.
I might want to see Rod Stewart before he dies.
Yeah,
doing rock songs.
I never seen him. In the early '90s. He was doing the Vagabond Heart, so he was doing the AC stuff.
That's fucking hilarious. That list, man. It's like only one guy's dead.
These are dead people. This is
well, I
like
put mine together
with
the thinking of like, okay, these how they would gel and create, what I'm going.
That's what I did, Vance.
That's what I did.
I want to.
Of course, they're all they're well-known guys and everything, but I think it'd be a good set.
So there's not going to be a right or wrong. We're not going to vote on anything.
No.
We're just going to list
no ranking or anything.
Everyone's going to list everything. Yeah, the whole spreadsheet just says.
I made a rule for myself
Okay.
that they can't be two guys. I see Trekker there, but they can't be two guys from the same band. And I'm not saying you guys have to abide by that.
No.
But like I couldn't put Keith Moon with John Entwistle, or I couldn't rebuild Leonard Skinner. I'm not just I put on myself because I didn't want.
But this is what's going to be
two
fantastic.
From the same band.
Because I'm curious to see how people made their list. That's what I'm even more curious about. See what was your premise of making the band?
I had AI do it for me.
Where's that? Yeah.
AI will be doing everything.
Couple of them I had an easy time with. I knew right away I was going to use, and the other ones I went back and couple of them I went back and forth on and changed one at the last minute.
The only one I had issue with is coming up with a drummer.
So many, but I mean, I chose one that I bet nobody chose. So
I'm still kind of
just because of the whole does he fit in with everybody else?
I'm still auditioning a guy for a position, so we'll see how that.
I had a lot of trouble with some members.
The Grim Reaper is.
It took me forever to get the keyboard guy. That was the one that I had a bitch with because he was my flex guy. Right?
I will tell you, I did not select the keyboard guy.
Me neither.
You don't have to. There was no.
I have two different bands, one with the keyboards, one without. But we'll see. I'm still not decided what I want to do.
I'm still torn.
John's still auditioning.
My flex musician is still
two brilliant bands I have, Vance. Brilliant.
Yeah. All right. I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, so check this stuff out I found today.
Okay, I'll make you big.
Oh, Ebony. Yep.
Very first Ebony release, $25.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I had never seen that before.
The first one, that's really good, Steve. There's some tracks that are quasi metal, almost like a glam rock and a pub rock, and that's my favorite of the batch. And the second one has Merciful Fate, and then after that has the original Black Funeral. And after that, they keep getting progressively worse. They're all worth having, but that one is great.
But yeah,
didn't you send me all those?
I think you sent every one, the whole series.
I think I've done them all.
So I picked this one. This is a newer band from Florida called Except You. And he kind of said it's a mix of thrash, new wave of British heavy metal, and Riot Girl.
Not yet.
So it's a newer band. I haven't checked it out yet.
Oh, nice.
It sounded pretty interesting. So I'll let you guys know what I think.
Cool.
That's cool. Steve, I actually appreciate that about you, that you actually take a chance on new bands like that and buy new stuff.
Well, and there's two stores I go
that.
to where they're metal guys too, and they know what I like, and I kind of trust them more than me. when they tell me I'm going to like something 9 times out of 10, that probably 9.5 out of 10, I'm gonna like it. So
yeah.
So you can
This
put
one-
a sax there as a flex. So sorry.
couldn't believe this one. OG pressing
Oh,
of Crystal
wow.
Logic. Yeah,
Wow.
Didn't you have that?
no, not an
That's
original.
American. That's their label, the original.
Yeah, this is the Roadster record. So
Wow.
that's yeah.
Wow.
And
Nice.
it's
And that's
it's,
that's my favorite album. That is amazing.
it's like VG plus. There's some little light scratches, but
You never see that record ever.
I've
Yeah.
never seen it. In a
What
even
did that
back in
run, if you don't mind me
the
asking?
80s and 90s, I didn't see this in the record store.
No.
How much
What
did
did
that run?
what did it run you? How much did it cost
I
roughly?
paid $75 for it, but he had it marked 125.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's gotta be $200 record.
Yeah. But hang on, that's not it. OG pressing of Deluge.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Actually,
No,
this
really,
one's
that's
not the
great.
OG. This is the
Is that a record fair or what was it?
what's that?
Is that a record show?
No, one of the local stores.
Oh, okay.
So I hooked him up with Corey and with his brother to do a signing there. So he's every time I go there, he's been hooking me up with some good deals. But this one's a Black Dragon pressing.
Oh, wow. That might be.
nice.
I wonder if that's the only pressing from the era. Maybe did they put
I
it
have-
out
I have
themselves?
that
That
here.
one, or is that might be the.
No, this might be the only one. I didn't look.
Yeah, that
This
might.
is
I mean,
my
I don't
full
know,
album.
but that's
There's
late
only
enough
five.
where that
Yeah.
might be the original.
What are you, their agent, Jenny? Make your own band. Put him in there.
Oh, oh, you're talking to me.
Put him in there.
He threw this one in for free. I never.
Oh
seen
yeah,
this.
Nice.
I don't have that. I don't think I do. I used
I think
to
there's
have
another
it.
cover because I think I have that. It's got a different.
I have
cover
that out of
maybe.
45. No,
That's
I
the
have that out of
single.
45.
Yeah,
It came out as picture disc too, if I remember.
Yeah, the 7-inch had 2 songs. This one has 3.
Gotcha.
But
Anything extra, or is it just regular album tracks?
I can't. I don't
Is there
remember
a
the
heap
album
cover
track.
on that?
It's 95 Nasty, Easy Living, and Flesh and
Yeah,
Fire.
it is
Yeah,
the heap
Easy
cover.
Living.
Yeah.
And then I showed this one the other night, but I picked this up the other day. I've been looking for this for like 15 years, but a mint.
Oh
OG
wow.
of
Yeah, I
Pro.
don't have that. That's cool.
So yeah,
Nice.
it was a pretty good week. And I picked up some. What was the other one I got? Oh, this is the only one that you would probably be into, John. The Adolescence, the demos from 80 to 86.
Oh, cool. I definitely don't have that record. I don't think I have the demos.
Yeah, this was Frontier in 2005. So
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I have a CD or a different comp, but I don't know if I have demos.
yeah. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, when I walked in and saw those Manila Roads, dude, I couldn't grab those fast enough.
Yeah.
I'll go grab a couple newbies for me. I'll be right back.
No, I got some sort of live. I mean, I have the album and then the Bratson Battalion.
Okay,
one,
yeah.
but I think it's a reissue Bratson Battalion on LP. This is live 81, 86. That's it.
Okay.
I think I have a
you must-
CD,
you
but
must-
it might just be like the album with extra tracks. or
You must have saw Vance. I put on my Instagram. I got that Van Halen live 91.
I saw that, yeah.
Record store day, and I also got the Get Your Yayas. I finally got that on
Oh, nice.
vinyl. The record store.
Oh,
day.
nice.
I was out today. Scotty Strychnine was in town. We hooked up and we went over to Reckless Records
Nice.
and Sugar and Dusty Grooves, and I saw that Van Halen, and I passed on it because I was already buying stuff, you know.
Did you not pay
I
the
think
electric
Fantasy?
bill or what?
Say
Well,
what?
I had the list, but did you not pay the light bill?
Oh no, I don't know why it went out.
No, I think the camera maybe.
Yeah,
The camera
the
got
bright-
fucked up because he put his phone in front of it. That's
Yeah.
why it does.
But I did find this live Yardbirds featuring Jimmy Page.
Oh, that's
Is that
the
a-
one. Yeah.
Is that the 2
Yeah.
album or the 1 album?
This is a single,
That,
There's
that's
a
the
double.
OG.
and I also found the double. I found both of these today. The first time I ever came across them, I was like, "What?"
Oh, nice.
So this was at Reckless. This was at Dusty. And,
Who plays drums on that one?
Which one?
The
I haven't gone through it.
Oh,
On the
the
single or the double?
the original drummer. What's his name?
okay.
Why can't I remember it? Chris Dreja.
No,
Dresden?
Dreja.
Jim
no,
McCarty. He was guitar, right? Dreja was.
Yeah.
Jim McCarty was bass.
Jim
Paul
McCarty
Samuels
was
was
the drummer.
in the
Jim McCarty
original.
was a drummer.
Paul
Dre-
Samuels, though.
Paul
Keith
Samuel
Rupp.
Smith. Thank you.
Yeah, Paul Samuel Smith. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I found.
I
those.
just
was
got
like,
the last
I
of
couldn't
these
believe it.
stylists probably in the world. I mean, these replacement stylists.
Find
are my
both of those
ATN,
the
the
same
last
drummer.
one, the last sealed one probably in existence.
Show it again.
That's
Sorry.
a-
Show it.
I hate that they keep doing that, changing them. They change them just to sound just enough. I have another one one of the 560s or 540s I used to love, and they discontinued it.
Yeah, usually I detect to at least keep that shit in print for in print or used for like 10 years. The tooling for 10 years.
Yeah.
They get a license for 10 years, I think. So, yeah.
Vance, I know you know that, but that Yardbirds record is basically a Zeppelin proto record.
With the this one here,
Yeah,
or the other one.
That one in your hand. It's
Yeah.
basically like early Zeppelin. It's almost, if you swap singers, it's almost like you'll hear the same.
Yeah.
The same Dazed and Confused, and like not quite the same songs, but it's very similar to a Zeppelin record.
Yeah,
like a 68, 69 Zeppelin.
And did they pull this one, or there was one that was?
Yeah, Page pulled it. If you listen,
Yeah.
I forget what song it is. I'd have to see.
Yeah.
There's a dropout in it. I mean, there's a dropout in the guitar for a bit, if I remember. And Page was never happy. I don't know if he would have, if it would have probably got pulled anyway. But there's a dropout in it, and they booted it with a black and white cover, with the same cover but no colors in it.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it in the books and stuff that it came out after he's formed Zeppelin, I think.
Yeah,
so they were trying. It was a money grab, kind of thing.
Absolutely.
But I couldn't, and this thing,
and I think it's the fake crowd too, if I remember.
I haven't played it yet
I think
because I literally walked
crowd.
in. But is it okay? I haven't played it yet because I literally walked in from the
great liner notes. I thought the liner notes describe what it's like seeing them kind of. Yeah, it's really good story, like the vibe, because they were really kind of past their heyday, and a couple of teeny boppers wanted to see the pop songs, and they were kind of like a little lost at that point.
Oh, hang on. Let me make you big there.
Look really clean. What's the label? But it looked really clean, so I'm like, man,
Oh, nice. Yellow Epic. Nice.
Yeah, they got the Yellow Epic. So I couldn't believe I found both of those in the same day.
Those things are built like tanks.
Never came across them before. That's why.
And it'll give you the revelation that there's no doubt Robert Plant listened to those, or Page played him tapes of Dazed and Confused, and because he didn't just accidentally come up with all those vocal inflections he does live, like Keith Relf did it, and he kind of aped it.
Not a single one.
No, I'm sure he did. And that sounds, just
but
just kind of what I'm
usually like I might show, like the guitar player might show you the song, here's the lyrics, you do your interpretation. But he must have gave Plant tapes of these songs to learn, because that's
kind of what I'm looking for. Yeah.
Did you send it to? Did you text me recently?
I got a box in from High Roller in Germany that just showed up Friday.
Yeah.
So
let's see.
Jaguar.
I got it.
Oh,
Eddie.
Awesome.
So they got the single.
I have that record.
That's really all you need from Jaguar right there.
Yeah.
Right. There's an extra song on here. Dirty Tricks is not on the the original single.
Dirty Tricks is on a comp. I think I sent it to Patrick. I think it's on one of those Neat Records comps.
Oh, okay.
I think so.
No, it was. That's basically everything through their first album, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to over under that Bobby Gass doesn't follow the rules for the dead band group thing.
I don't think Bobby knows any living artists anymore.
I'm saying Bobby doesn't follow the rules. I'm sure Bobby's going to do something like add 7 people to his band or something like that. So Bobby's
it's better than Vance. Vance is going to say, "Oh, Jimmy Page OD'd in 1978 and was dead for 2 minutes."
Bobby
technically dead for 5 minutes.
I don't know, but I think Bobby may put
Nikki Sixx,
John Bonham to better use than you, Vance.
Maybe.
I think he's pairing John Bonham with James Brown is better than like Soundgarden guys.
I think it was an option, to be honest with you. I brought that up. It was right here. I won't show you.
No, I believe you. I'm just joking. I'm just.
I wrote. Right here.
Moving the conversation.
Jay Brown was it's gonna do that shit again. Jay Brown was an option. I know, because Bonham loved that stuff. Love that Motown stuff.
Yeah, because I can't like Bonham. I love Bonham, but Bonham is Zeppelin. I can't see him fitting with a whole. I mean, he could work with everyone. He's a musician, of course, but his sound only, like to my mind, will only work with certain people. But James Brown and Bonham, that would be pretty hip.
soon as he starts playing a solo, though, James Brown would look back at him and like go, "Hey, you know."
No, James got the move. James had the music going. It wasn't all vocals. He had his dance routines, and the band was just grooving. You need the drummer to keep that one chord going.
Didn't he with an iron fist, though? Didn't he like he ruled his band like with an iron fist? He was just
a crunge.
I told this story. A guy I knew, he was from Athens, Georgia, and his guitar teacher was in James Brown band in the 80s in Athens. And James Brown told his guitar teacher, who was the guitar player, and like the guys in the band, they all practiced at a studio in James Brown house or like on his property anyway. And he says, they all had their equipment there. He says, tonight might be a good night to take your equipment home, boys. And so he had to carry his amp, and everyone carried the drums and keyboards out. And the next day, the studio burned down.
So he burned down the studio.
That's all they know. He told them they had their equipment stored there, and they would show up and jam whenever he wanted. And
tonight might be a good night to take
the insurance.
Might be a good night to take your equipment home, boys.
Well, he went to jail a number of times. He wasn't known for being a great fella.
No, he was. James was a bit of an asshole, no question about it, right? I mean, the people he loved, the people that he liked, that he respected. You know, if he respected you, he treated you with respect. But if he didn't respect you, he was a real asshole, right? I mean, he was a woman beater. I mean, he was real mean to the guys in his band. He used to line them all up, and I'm sure some of you guys know the story. He'd look down at their shoes, and if some guy, his shoes weren't shine, spick and span, copper polish, marine polish. They got a $50 fine, which, was a lot of money.
That's old school. You had to run a band. I mean, that goes back to the 30s probably, maybe longer.
But he was a little, the drummer tells a story. He's had a couple of drummers, eh? There was the guy who introduced them all the time, Bobby, what's his name? He was in the Flame too. But the guy ended up eventually announcing them all the time. And here's the number one guy in show business. Anyhow, his brother was the drummer for a while. And James, the way he was with all the guys and all of that, he's cursing at the drummer and all of that and telling him he's going to do this and he's going to do that. And the drummer got sick and tired of it, Bobby's brother, and he just pulled out a gun and stuck it in his face and says, yeah, now what the fuck are you going to do now? And James Brown says, no, everything's fine and all of that, right? Sure. And he never said another word to him. If you stood up to James, that's the way he was. The guy that, another drummer that he had tells a story. It's pretty funny. He says, when you're working with James, he doesn't read music. He doesn't know none of that stuff. He just goes, okay, I want you to hit it like that. And the drummer says, okay, James, I'll do that. And the drummer says, and then he goes over again. He says, I do the exact same thing. And James goes, oh, that's what I wanted. I mean, he used to smack broads. Guys know Tammy Terrell. You heard of Tammy Terrell?
Smack broad.
Oh, yeah.
She used to be in James's band, right?
James
was balling her, and he used to smack her around all the time, right?
She seemed to have got smacked around a bit because she was with, what's her name, Ruffin from the Temptations, who smacked her around too.
Well, a lot of guys used to do that in the old days. You used to beat your women in your cars. A lot of you guys ain't old enough to have seen that kind of. I don't know, the way things were back in the old days, back in the 50s. A lot of men were like that, right? I even met a woman one time. She said to me, she was a little younger than me. I knew her, and she always was getting the bad guys, right? And one guy used to beat her pretty good all the time, Ron. One time she's talking to me.
Wife beating minute.
She's crying.
Bobby's wife beating minute.
No. She's crying to me, right? And I says, well, what are you, crazy? The guy smacks you.
Leave.
Leave. What are you going? She says to me, she's crying. She's got tears in her eyes. And she says to me, yeah, but he gets mad at me, but that proves he loves me. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck?
God.
What kind of a brain have you got that you think somebody smacked you, love you? Obviously, I don't know, she grew up in a situation like that, her mother and father or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Look, you made Ed leave.
Yeah, exactly, right? But
Still here. Still.
guys who hit broads are fucking nuts. They're crazy anyhow. Anybody who hits a woman is
Steve, was that
only
the
the
Dead
people call
Milkman
it
who
the
did
broad.
the James Brown spoof? I'm gonna beat my wife. It was like a
I
soul.
don't know that one.
I feel
They
like
may
it was the
have
Dead
on-
Milkman, like a middle years record, but
Yeah, it
it
might
would
be.
have probably been around 89 or 88, whenever that all went down, you know.
Did you ever see
yeah,
the
when he went to
picture?
jail.
You ever see the picture
Yeah.
of him when he got grabbed by the coppers, and he run from him, and he run into a bridge, and and his hair was all thing,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he was all coked up. That's a beautiful picture of James.
Crazy.
Godfather of Soul in the belly of the beast.
Yeah, I met him. He's a little guy, eh? Him being so mean and nasty and all of that for a little. I know he boxed a little when he was a kid and did some dancing. He's well built, and muscular, and all of that, but he's only a little guy, maybe 5'3". Really short.
We represent the lollipop guild.
Yeah, but he didn't go to prison like other people go to prison. He still had money.
Oh yeah. Well, if you got money in prison, you're okay. Believe
He had
me.
money and he was famous. He was good.
Oh yeah, he'd have protectors and all kinds of guys in there, right? You wouldn't say nothing to James.
Not just that, the prison wouldn't let him fuck with him because that would look bad on the prison too.
Yeah.
A lot of that's political.
Yeah, Dead Kennedy's album today. I don't know which one it was. I need to go look downstairs and see what the hell it was. I've never found a Dead Kennedy's album out in the wild. So
There's not that many.
Well, I saw a couple today, but they were like $50 or something.
That's cheap though. If they're originals, they get a lot
It
more
was-
than that.
Yeah, I didn't look at them.
They never went out of print. Those
what-
were in print for years. So
Bob Marley was in
It's
one
hard
of
to
my
tell.
bands. One of my early bands, I had Bob Marley in the band. So
What
Yeah, they
got
still
you guys? What got you guys talking about James Brown?
we have a subject tonight. We're doing we're making bands out of dead people.
Yep.
That's why
Hey,
you're
Brad.
here, Bobby.
I thought you knew
Oh
that.
yeah, I know. I got a list and all of that, but James Brown, you guys had James Brown in a band?
he's dead.
I don't have him in mind because you only get to pick
he
one
was,
band.
He was a contender in one of mine. Yeah.
Well, yeah, one
I assumed you picked him as your lead singer and John Bonham as drums. That's why this came up.
Who, me? No, my drummer. Well,
Well, don't tell us.
Don't tell us.
Don't say what your drummer is. We're gonna wait. We're gonna do a whole.
would say Bonzo, no question about it, right?
We're gonna. Well, yeah, I think we all know who Vance's drummer is going to be. I mean,
I
that's
really
not
should have
even-
done something different and just shut you guys up with something different. But
Well,
That
you
would be
gotta-
fun.
I
That
mean,
would
you're Mr. Zepp Pearl. You gotta pick Led Zeppelin guys.
Even if it doesn't make sense, you will.
Exactly, right?
'Cause that's just-
well, like Steve said, yeah.
I tried to be honest with the list, is what I tried to do, right? I thought I was pretty good.
I'm still struggling with my flex musician. I can go either way here. So yeah.
I got two great bands. I don't know which one to throw in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still auditioning that guy. I just don't.
Well,
So Bobby,
Where's the music?
I wasn't seriously considering, but I wanted to see how good John Rutsey was from Rush. So I just had a kick. So not to see how good he was. I just wanted to watch him. So I typed in John Rutsey, and the Rush footage showed up, and they did Working Man. It was at
At
a
the
TV
Laura Secord
performance.
High School.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I watched that, and like 2 hours later, or before I went to bed, I saw your channel, Bobby, and you had the same Rush footage. It was a different song, but from that same thing, and I'd never seen either footage ever, and it was weird. I went out and searched that, and then 2 hours later, I saw, and I clicked on your video of Rush, and it was the same footage. I'm like, look at that, that same hollow body, Lifeson's playing, and
Well,
I looked for the
I
double
got my
microphone.
thumb- I got my thumb on the fucking, right on the pulse of things.
Yeah, but it was crazy. I'd never seen that footage, and then to see you throw it up there,
Just
like
one night.
So what was that? So on the one Bobby did, there was a thing where fucking Alex drops out. Did his amp break out or something? Did you listen to that? Where it's
I didn't watch the whole thing. I didn't need that much Rush in one day. I got
there's-
Working Man.
But there's a section where it's just Rutsey and fucking Geddy Lee playing, and like Alex's guitar just completely drops off the map because it's a live gig. They probably like had a bad chord or something, broke the string. I don't know.
Yeah,
But it was funny because I was like, oh wow. I was like, oh wow, man, Alex just completely left the building. Just like that's where it's live. you know.
Well, you could see Vic, when you seen that. What did you think of his drumming? Rutsy's drumming.
He didn't make the cut.
No, that's
He
right.
looked cool though. He looked more like he could play with the suite. Obviously, he's no Mick Tucker,
No,
you know, but he had a cooler like 70s rock star look than what I picture Rush.
So did Steve Priest make your list, John?
No,
looked like The Rock.
you know, I had to pick a band, a style, and fit everyone together. But I mean, so many people. But
You could put
Steve Priest
Razzle
wouldn't.
with
I
guys
don't
from
like
Sweet.
Steve Priest. I've seen what he became, so I have the image of later day Steve Priest, where he's carrying the name Sweet on unofficially in America. Like he's a sad fellow before he died.
All right, so we're gonna start this. We'll do it in about 10 minutes. How's that? We'll do top of the hour. We'll do.
Can we? Are we doing requests? Are you gonna play some music?
Yeah, but we just started talking, so it's just.
I know.
kinda
No,
like-
I was just gonna say, can we play "Sun and Steel" by Iron Maiden off Peace of Mind, Nico McBrain's first album, because he just retired, whatever, 2 nights ago. I think it was.
Did he
last night
retire or was he
Last
told to
night.
retire?
Last night was the last show.
He's staying
He-
with
he-
Maiden.
he
He
retired.
quit touring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Well-
he can't tour with him anymore. He's still gonna do studio stuff.
I get it, but I mean, did they say your time has come? You know, to play.
It doesn't
live?
sound
I
like
think
it.
he's
He had a
he's
stroke.
old.
He's
I know.
72 years old.
He had a
he's older
stroke
than the
a
rest
year
of the
ago.
guys, and that's a tough. No one should be put through those.
And they're not doing short touring schedules. All their last few tours have been like 30 dates, 40 dates.
They don't have
Yeah,
one
it said
easy song to play for a drummer.
It says right on the management release. It says that Nico McBrain will always be a part of Iron Maiden, and I believe that from Steve Harris. Because those two got
hear
along
that.
like, you know.
I hear that. I hear that they're keeping him
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, I know, but you're thinking that they pushed him out. I
Like
know
Nick
you're
Mars.
thinking that they pushed him out. But
In fact,
you know, the whole thing is that if you
today's
watch him
my last
play,
day, bye. You know, so yeah.
he was.
If it was Steve Harris's kid taking the place in the drums, then maybe you could have that argument.
Or if it's the guy
His
from
daughter's
British Lion
on drums.
taking the place. What if the guy from British Lion takes over?
Yeah,
It is
Brian.
the guy
How
from
about
British
Simon Dawson, I think.
Yeah.
Sid Vicious, Gigi Allen. There's a pairing.
He is.
Is the one taking over.
Who?
From British
Who
Lion.
is? Oh, the guy from British Lion is the one taking over?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they announced that today. Yeah,
They
Nico
should've
had a
held
stroke,
tryouts.
and on this last tour, they were changing songs that was better, easier for him to play than some of the more.
That's
difficult
why.
ones,
That's
so-
why I said, hey, maybe it wasn't all his decision. Maybe they said, hey, man, we love you. We want to keep you around,
No,
but
I mean,
live,
he-
you're not cutting it, dude.
I think and that drumming takes a toll on the body too. Look at Neil was
Very nice list, Carl. Sorry.
So, Nico McBrain played with Pat Travers for a few albums, too.
Yes, he did.
Pat Travers was from.
I saw Bruce Dickinson said he was playing drums longer than I've been singing, and he was a pilot longer than I was a pilot.
Yeah, a pilot before I was a pilot.
Yeah.
I'm not dogging Nico McBrain. I'm just saying. That galloping
Yeah,
bass line. Why can't Steve Harris die so he can be in my band?
Well, that British Lion guy, he's in there now. But is he going to be permanently with them now?
Touring. I think if they do another studio album, I think we'll still see.
Yeah, I feel like Nico's still in.
I think it's just the whole.
Yeah, they were real specific to say he's the new touring drummer.
Yeah, yeah.
And for
Yeah,
Nico, he's stepping
Travis
back
is pretty
from
hard.
touring.
Like I could pick a super group that I would put against other super groups. Not that it would win, or I could just pick something.
All right, so
Cool
we don't
guys that work
we don't get two bands, okay, John?
No,
I
of
know you
course
like
not.
this Nick. Are you gonna like try this?
But,
This is
but
Sarah's
man,
band.
it's such a good band. It's such a good. Patrick, you would love this band.
Watch. John's gonna be favorite. Look, Sarah just handed me her band, and it's like John's second.
No,
band.
I would have her up if she was going to do it. She has to come up. I mean, she could put it in the chat, but
Well, after we do the list, you can share it.
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
no, yeah, I'll talk about it. But I'm
Or
gonna.
send it to me in the thing.
It's so good. I mean, but obviously it's only to my taste. You guys have.
No, but
like Carl's
Well, like-
is a good band right there.
Yeah, see, I didn't see it. I mean, okay, yeah, maybe I did with one guy, but I kind of I put it together that these guys would really gel, you know?
My streams on Friday disappear on Saturday. By Saturday, YouTube pulls those things immediately, just like boom. You know, your stream is blocked. Blah blah blah.
Do these get pulled? I don't never go back and see these either.
Some
yeah,
of
they
them
get
do,
pulled.
some of them don't. They're hit or miss.
A lot more nowadays get it. I get one pulled today from a year ago. You know, it's these copyright people that are claiming copyright.
I have very few live streams, but they're coming after the old ones all the time.
Yeah.
I'm getting emails.
What's stupid? I don't know why they don't just put ads on them and make money off of them. You know?
I think they will eventually figure out how to monetize it.
Well, I mean, YouTube can put commercials on there.
Yeah, once it's
you know,
uploaded. Yeah, once
if
it's
somebody
done.
complains, you know, I don't know why they don't just do that automatically.
And they even put the songs so you could like buy them. Like they tell you the songs you play, even if they're fairly obscure. They'll
So
list
here's
it.
the thing. Yeah, I mean the thing is that these people are buying catalogs, publishing, and they're going around and they're fucking they're sifting through all of these videos and claiming them is what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know.
And they're like a lot of them are fake companies from other countries claiming them. Can you put the thing in the chat? I think Safe and Sound. Someone wanted the
I did,
Oh,
but he blocked Nightbot. So there you go.
What?
So John Wetton almost made my list. He came close to. He was in my band for about an hour. So, yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know what to do here with this guy.
We'll figure it out.
Was John Wetton in Uriah Heep for an hour too?
Yeah, he was. He was also in King Crimson, I think, for a little bit.
Oh, he was in there for a few albums.
Yeah.
He was like
Oh, very cool.
Mark's
Old
Tongue, Starless Bible Black, Red.
Although this is the worst name for an album ever. I've told the story before. I remember when
Triple X,
when I got it, I didn't even think about it. I just queried
Pre-internet.
Asia, Triple X,
Pre-internet.
and I went, and it's the worst thing you can query on the internet at work is Asia Triple X. Trust me. And so,
Yeah.
I was like, luckily I'm the AT guy, so yeah. I didn't think about it. I was like, going, holy shit, what am I doing? Yeah, that's a horrible name.
I wonder if they actually knew that and just did that on purpose, like as a joke, you know?
It was 2012. I don't think so.
Well, because I know they technically did it because it was the 30th anniversary of Asia at the time, but yeah.
You know, I
No,
saw today.
Brian McFadden, there's no cap on our Christmas trading list.
I saw Christmas trading list.
Secret Santa, there's no cap. We're doing like $300-400 records.
What are y'all talking about?
No idea what he's asking about. Secret Santa.
I saw the Mark. I saw a live Asia album from that '83 MTV broadcast. when
Oh, yeah,
Greg
yeah.
Lake sat in. Yeah, I didn't realize they put that out.
Oh yeah, I got that. Yeah, that was
Sound
a pretty.
alright?
That was a pretty. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's good because it was a broadcast, right?
Yeah, yeah, I remember
Oh.
watching it.
Yeah. I remember watching with the Jeff Downs huge fucking
Yeah,
keyboard
running
layout.
back and forth. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
It was so stupid. He had his back to the crowd the whole fucking night that
right.
way. Yeah,
yeah.
Different night, Otto and Shield.
unbelievable.
Eddie.
You mean the entire continent of Asia sucks, Eddie? Is that what you're saying? The entire continent of Asia sucks.
No, that's baby metal. That's the home of baby metal.
I know.
We're gonna take
like
that
that.
comment out of context, and Eddie's gonna look like a real.
I'm actually
real
surprised Patrick
xenophobe.
likes this.
I love this song. I think it's very poignant because John Wetton, I think, knew he was dying at this time.
Yeah.
This was him basically saying, you know,
Yeah,
basically writing his own eulogy.
it's kind of like Bowie with Lazarus on
Yeah.
Black Star. Yeah.
You know, so yes, it's very.
John, you're gonna have
poignant.
Benny Goodman in your band, John Bandy.
Any good
It's not easier if you do other genres. It makes it harder.
I mean, you could have Herbie Hancock in your band. That's a keyboard player. You could, you know, Kid
Is that a-
Corea.
Is that a George Burns special there, Bobby?
No, it's not a George. We used to smoke Panatalas, right? I don't smoke Panatalas.
I'm gonna have Rudy Valley, Django Reinhardt, Gene Krupa,
Eddie Rich.
Tommy Dorsey, and I got to think of a bass player.
Is Wes
Buddy Rich, you're
Montgomery
gonna have
alive?
problems right away.
Is Wes Montgomery alive? Got Grant Green.
Grant Green, there you go. The greatest metal guitar
Yeah,
player
Mingus.
ever.
Mingus.
Willie Dixon for bass.
Oh man,
Well,
look,
I was trying to think
I gotta
even
change my
like
band.
more obscure, like
I'm gonna change my band. I gotta get Art Blakey as my drummer.
not
That's
obscure,
right.
but like out of context.
I didn't use any.
He's a good drummer.
They're some of the greatest musicians. I didn't use any.
Yeah, I didn't do any 50s. Although if
Herbie
I could
Hancock's
add
still
a,
alive?
I didn't do that. I could have done that
Hancock
too.
is still
I thought to myself,
Yeah.
you gotta get guys that are current.
I tried to keep it in context with the people on this stream.
Yeah, I did too.
So who was the bass player in the Banana Splits? Was it Flegel? So and I put him in my band.
Flegel died? Oh no. 1 banana, 2 banana, 3 banana, 4.
All right, let's get on with this thing here.
How you doing, Bobby? Let's let the
Oh, my
song
God.
finish. Jesus, man, calm
That's,
down.
who is this? Who is this band?
Asia.
It's Asia.
Well, they stink.
BJ5
Well,
is
maybe your music stinks, Bobby Gal.
BJ5 is anxious.
Wasn't AJ all guys from other bands?
It was a
it's
super
yeah.
group, yeah.
Steve
It's a
Howe,
supergroup.
Carl Palmer, Jeff
Yeah.
Downs,
Jeff Downs.
John Wetton.
It was originally
And
supposed to be a three
that was
piece.
a massive debut record, man.
Oh,
Massive.
yeah.
Oh yeah, like
It's a good record.
I just saw
yeah, I
a
like that.
couple copy. I passed on it.
I mean, that was massive when I was a kid.
yeah.
It was all over the radio. I remember.
And it crossed every genre, like
MTV.
everyone, like hard rock people, pop
Yeah.
people, classic rock people, FM radio play, like it.
All right.
Yeah,
Even
it was-
AOR a little
It
bit.
was-
Steve,
Everywhere.
John, Mark, me, Vance. Who else is here? Ed and Bobby G. Okay. Bobby G, the impatient Bobby G.
Well, it was a lousy song.
Well, you know what, man? They can't all be home runs, Bobby.
I'm glad I'm not the only negative guy here.
Yeah.
I like this song.
It's a great song. I mean, you guys just don't have any heart.
If you have passion, you got to hate things as much as you love things. You can't just say, "Oh, that's good." That's
I'm not
good.
going
I
to say.
like
I'm
everything."
staying out of this debate. So
My
All right.
my old friend.
I liked it.
You know what, Bobby? Bobby, you can go first since you're so fucking hot to trot about getting this done. So we're gonna go. So here's how it goes. We're gonna go drummer, bass player, guitar player, lead singer, and then flex musician. So who's your drummer, Bobby?
Okay, for drummer, I love Bonzo and Mooney and Mitch Mitchell and Ginger Baker. I love. There's a lot of great drummers out there that I've seen, and from that era in the '60s and '70s, because that'd be my era. But I got to go with Charlie Watts. Right? To me, he was the classiest guy that ever put on ever used drumsticks. Right? He had his head screwed on. He was a sharp dresser. And actually, out of all the guys that have died over the years and stuff like that, Charlie was the only guy that bothered me dying, eh? I didn't expect Charlie Watts to die, believe me, right? Every other rocker, yeah, sure, see you later, right? But Charlie, I don't know. I just thought he'd last forever, I guess.
All right. Well, we know that Charlie Watts is the most stylish drummer on your list, and that was important to you. But who's your bass player, Bobby Gass?
Best dress band. That would be a good one.
Oh, yeah.
ZZ Top. They win.
Well,
Nudie suits.
for bass player, I was going to pick Leo Lyons, and I did pick Leo Lyons, and then I looked it up, and the guy's still alive.
Damn him.
That son of a bitch won't
I
die.
scratch him, right? I got to scratch him, and I picked
Hi, you son of a bitch.
my very favorite bass player of all time was Felix Papalardi from Mountain A.
Was he murdered?
Well, yeah, his wife murdered him.
Yeah.
He lost his hearing in '74, and
Maybe he was smacking her around.
He didn't play, that much with Leslie, right? But I started looking him up. Oh, I don't know, a while ago, and I couldn't believe how many records he produced, and he even played on some early stuff. I'll tell you something, Mark. You know that Avenue Road by the album, the Avenue Road by, is it the Ducklings?
Oh yeah.
Right, that's got a psych tune on it. That's on all the comp records and all of that.
Yeah.
He played on that album and produced it.
Is he your bass player?
Well, yeah, he's a bass player.
Is he your bass player in your band?
Yeah, he is. Well, you want me to move on? Is that it?
No, I was just trying to figure out who your bass player was. So I didn't know if that was your choice or if you.
Yeah, him and his old lady did a lot of drugs. They liked the heroin, and she shot him with a Derringer. They were fighting all the goddamn.
How do you spell his last name? Is it Pappareddelli?
Pappalardi. P. It's
okay, Lardy. Okay, Pappalardi. No I. There we go.
Two P's.
Yeah, I got 2 P's. I think I got it. Yeah. Alardi.
I mean, lead guitar player. I mean, who else am I going to pick other than Hendrix? I seen him, right? And I seen most of the great guys from the 60s and the 70s. And cleanest was Alvin Lee. And I mean, Jeff Beck, I seen him every decade since the 60s. And he improved, you know, every time. First time I seen the guy in '69, I think it was, I went, holy fuck, is this guy ever good, right? And then every time I seen him after that, he just got better. You know, it's kind of freaky, right? I mean, I seen Clapton in '69 too. And, you know, he was he was God, in the 60s until Hendrix come around, you know, and there was Beck and Page and all of that. But when I seen him in '69, to me, he was a shadow of himself, kind of, right? He was all coked up and, you know, and he wasn't exploring, or he wasn't exploring. He was just up there, you know, doing, I don't know. He fell apart as far as I'm concerned, Clapton.
Who's your singer, Bobby?
Well, Mick Jagger, best number front.
He's alive.
Best dead guy.
He's alive, dude.
Oh yeah. Well, I gotta scratch him. Oh yeah.
Well, I could Google it. You never know.
I got him scratched off.
Maybe 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Bobby's got different news than us.
The guy that had to me, the best rock and roll voice of the 60s, to me, was Jack Bruce. So I picked Jack Bruce.
And he can play bass. But yeah.
And now for the last question was, you could either pick a keyboard guy or a guitar guy, right?
Or percussionist or a sax player.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, another member.
Whatever you want.
You know, and I was thinking to myself, well, I got Hendrix, you know, as a guitar player. Who the fuck can play with Hendrix? And I'm going, and I can't think of anybody, eh? And then so I says to myself, well, for organ player, you know, Garth Hudson, I'm with the band, and I'm going, nah, he ain't rock and roll enough, right? So I picked John Lord. I thought John Lord for Deep Purple would be pretty good. And then I was still thinking about it, and I had him down there. And then I said to myself, you know, Jeff Beck, he might be able to play with him. And then I'm thinking, maybe I don't know, eh? And then I said to myself, there's one guy that I'm pretty sure would be able to do it no matter what. God damn it, I always forget his name. Where the fuck is it here? Oh my God.
Good thing we started when we did.
Yeah, this is longer than the Asia song.
I know.
Is it someone from the band?
No. Roy Buchanan.
Okay.
Roy, he'd probably be the only guitar player I could think of that could probably play with anybody, because he never ever had anybody that could play with the guy.
I'm just going to say one thing about your band, Bobby. What? Charlie Watts is going to be way over his head with all that stuff going on.
Oh, not to me, he won't be. I don't care anyhow. I want to see Charlie.
Charlie's playing with Keith, and you got Buchanan, Pappalardi, and Hendrix happening.
And then you got Jack Bruce yelling at Pappalardi because he doesn't like his bass playing.
I don't care. Charlie Watts is my man, and I'm sticking with him.
I know. Charlie Watts is the man.
Charlie Watts is my man. That's it. I don't care. Charlie
Watts. All right, Bobby. Excellent band. Ed, I'm sure your band has none of these people in it. Ed's going to have the most metal band of anybody, but here we go.
It is going to
need that. We need diversity. Yeah.
So. My drummer.
Hold on a second. Hold on. This is the quote of the night. Mick Jagger may indeed die by the end of Bobby's list. It's been so long. There
you go. Right. So,
my
metal drummer, the one and only Cozy Powell.
Definitely was considered.
I actually thought about him too.
Yeah.
I went another route though.
Yeah, because I kind of built
Is
more
work on
powerful-
plans for a solo album? Excellent.
What's next? Bass?
Bass.
Bass. Yeah.
Cliff
Cliff
Burton.
Burton.
Ooh, didn't even think of him.
Yeah, that's a good one.
He was one that
Cozy is
came
a
to me
rhythm, right?
last. My bass player was the hardest one for me to pick, and then they just came to me at the end.
Hey, Fluffy.
Singer?
Guitar.
Guitar player.
Guitar, I think, isn't it?
Guitar player. Mark Real.
Wow.
So,
He was great.
very good guitar player.
The Restless Breed.
Restless-
The national anthem of this show.
Outlaw got no deal. All right, now your singer. Oh, Rhett Forster.
Ooh.
Interesting. Wow, you're almost getting the band back together there.
Well, yeah, two of them for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're getting the
Yeah.
band back together with a better bass player and better drummer.
I mean, his vocals, are the powerful vocals would go great with Cozy Powell.
You could go with either right singer.
And I think Cliff
They're both
Burton
dead.
would like
Yeah.
to actually like to
You know,
play.
it's like we're having
go
Cliff Burton join Riot.
Actually, you could go with like they've had like 5 different singers, and all but one are dead. So
Get Guy Speranza to be as your flex, and you got both of them. So who's
Yeah.
your flex guy?
Chris Oliva.
Okay.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh,
Right,
that's
we
a
got
good one.
we got a power metal band happening.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew Ed's was going to be
Cozy
metal.
Powell in a power metal band. Pretty cool.
Yeah. So Chris Oliva.
All right,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
excellent list, Ed.
Burden and Cozy Powell would be an interesting, rhythm section there, man.
So now for the most anticlimactic drummer choice in the history of this list, Vance, you're up. So
All right.
I'm not even gonna ask who your drummer is.
you should list Chris Cornell as your drummer. He was the original drummer for Soundgarden.
Yeah, right.
So
of
who's your
course,
drummer?
John Bonham, of course.
Okay.
Cut it
Come
out,
on.
Patrick.
All right. So, what do you? The bass next? Okay.
Okay, I have
Yeah.
Bonham in my ears. Let's see who's gonna fit with him.
Yeah.
I see. This is. I was going back and forth with these guys, but I guess this is what
Already
I
discussed.
originally- This is what I wrote, so I'm going with Squish Squire.
Traitor,
Okay.
traitor, you traitor.
How am I a traitor?
Nice.
It should be Led Zeppelin. What's the matter with you?
It can't be.
They're
They're
dead.
alive.
They're dead.
They're not dead, Bobby. They're not
Oh,
dead.
you can't pick guys in the same band.
Bobby,
They're
we said this
dead.
100 times
They're
already.
not
Oh,
dead.
Nobody's
Dead people.
They're all
Jesus,
dead
it's been 6
musicians.
minutes since you last heard the rules.
Oh, okay, all right, all
What's
right.
in that cigar?
Oh,
I mean,
my
it,
God.
right? It was
All right,
6
so-
minutes since we did this with Mick Jagger.
All
What's
right.
in that cigar, Bobby?
Silly rules.
That was just,
It's only one
rules,
rule.
That was the topic.
They got to be dead.
That was the whole
was the
topic for
topic.
tonight.
All right. So I got Bonham and Squire. What chose that. It was I was thinking of like yours, those a little funky in there. Squire can do that. He can move about. He's pretty versatile, I think. And what's next?
Very versatile.
Guitarist or vocals?
Guitar player. I'm sure.
Guitar
player.
Beck.
I'm going with
It's gotta be
Jeff Beck.
Of course,
Yeah,
because he
going
was
with
the
Jeff
Yardbird.
Beck. No, I'm not reason. I think him and Bonham. I think they play off each other again. Vocals. I'm going with Steve Marriott.
Nice, and he can play guitar.
And then I was sticking with 4, but I threw in for a second guitar would be Gary Moore.
Oh,
Awesome.
nice.
Vance, very awesome.
I think that would gel. Nice.
Very, very
blues
awesome.
rock. Oh, and manager Peter Grant. He would be managing the band, and I was going to come up with a
And
name.
Hypnosis will do the album cover.
Yeah, 'cause
Bob
that company,
Ross be the producer.
no, that company isn't around
You're gonna
anymore.
go on Swan Song record label.
That's not around anymore. Exactly. John knows, and I'm going to call him the Heavy Blimp. So there you go.
So now it's my turn.
Yeah.
And two of you guys took 2 of my guys, but my drummer is also Cozy Powell because I thought about Neil
That's a good
Peart,
choice. I didn't
and,
think of Cozy.
but I thought Neil Peart would probably just kind of not mesh with everybody else. I think Cozy Powell's one of those guys that can hang out, and fucking, and he can play anything. He's played anything. So my bass player though is Jaco Pastorius. The guy can play anything. The guy's played with Joni Mitchell. He's played with everybody, so he could play anything. And I think him and Cozy can go out and party, hang out, have a good time. So, guitar player number 1, and again, is Gary Moore for me. Plus, he can sing. He can play blues. He can play rock. He can play fusion. He listens to his stuff on Coliseum 2. He can play anything, and he can sing. So, my My lead singer is going to be Ronnie James Dio. Again, he can write, he can sing, he's a front man. He gets along with Cozy Powell. They can hang out.
Mm-hmm.
So my flex musician, I was torn between Paul Raymond and the guy who actually became the guy. So Paul Raymond, great rhythm guitar player, great keyboard player. Just fits in perfectly.
Great utility guy.
Yeah.
Like if you had a band on tour, that's the guy.
But I went with Eddie Van Halen. So Eddie Van Halen as a second guitar player or first guitar player. Anyway, he also can sing background vocals. He can play keyboards. He's an excellent keyboard player. So those are my 5.
Awesome. Patrick, just list them again.
So I had Cozy Powell as my drummer, Jaco Pastorius as my bass player, Gary Moore is my guitar player, Ronnie James Dio is my singer, and Eddie Van Halen is my flex musician.
Awesome. Bring up Mike's comment. Mike got spins. Not your picks, but definitely.
Yeah, I was going back with Phil.
Look at that. That's very in the same feel.
I mean, Neil Peart was my first drummer, but then I kind of figured, he might intimidate or not, fucking fit in, because he was kind of an introvert. He was an introvert. That's basically, one of the things why he didn't want to do backstage shit. So anyway, but that was my list. Now, Mark, you're up. The most prog list of the night will be Mark's. So here we go.
Actually, my list, I'm going to preface this by saying that this was a little bit difficult, mainly because a lot of these people that I picked are people that actually really affected me when they died, to be honest with you. And when I made this band up, I didn't think about it like you guys did, like, they're going to gel and not. I thought that, being reincarnated to play in a band, they'd be grateful to be alive again. So I picked it this way. Neil Peart, drums, of course. I mean, when he died, he's the only man I've ever made a dedicated video to on my YouTube about a dead person dying. I didn't do it for Bowie. I didn't do it for anybody else. It was Neil. And he really, really affected me when he died. And you guys all know why, obviously. For bass, I was actually surprised that my good buddy Vance picked the same guy as me, Chris Squire. I think that next to Geddy Lee, I think that he's probably one of the best bass players that's ever walked this planet.
And he can sing.
And he can sing too, and he's a fantastic guy. And he go on.
You're almost contradicting yourself because those guys fit together perfectly.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay, they're but they're great.
That's a perfect mix.
I mean, I'd like to think they could fit together because I mean, I know that everyone says that Neil's an introvert, but I mean, don't forget he's also the guy who put together the Buddy Rich thing. He got together a bunch of different drummers together and stuff. He wasn't as
sure
introverted.
He was play with Neil Peart.
He was good. He was good with other musicians. He wasn't good with the fans. That's what he wasn't good with. He was good with other musicians. So. Guitar player, this was really tough because, like I said earlier, a lot of the people that I love as guitar players and that have influenced me are still alive. And the one person that isn't alive that I love and has been a huge influence on me, top to bottom, and I'd love to see in a band is Mick Ronson. And he is not only a great guitar player, but he's probably one of the best orchestra arranger that was living at the time. Look at the stuff he did with Bowie, how he arranged the strings, even with Lou Reed and other people. He's done some fantastic orchestrations as well as guitar playing. So he was my guitar player. And the vocalist, okay, this one's going to touch me. I might get a little teary here. Okay, this one's for you, buddy, okay? Gord Kirchen of Piledriver is going to be my singer in the band. Okay,
awesome.
How do you spell his last name?
Kirchen. He is one of the. When I first met him, we had a 3-hour talk about Frank Zappa on the telephone. He's one of the most musically knowledgeable people I've ever met, and a great guy to hang out with. And when he died, it really bothered me because he went way too early. He was a great singer, great guy to hang out with. And he is the one guy I can see who blends with everybody. You put him into a room with anybody, and he'll get along with you in 5 minutes, and you'll be friends with him for life. So, Gord, that's for you, buddy. And
he was not on my bingo card.
Wasn't on many people's, I'm sure. But and my keyboard one was another tough one. But I wanted to give tribute to another guy who died, and he was in a band of another person who died as well, which was Zappa. And I'm talking about George Duke on keyboards. Is my keyboard player. George Duke is a very interesting keyboard player. When I saw him with Zappa playing, some of the stuff that he did on organ and synthesizer was just absolutely outrageous. I was like, wow, this guy can play keyboards like nobody's business, and he's a great singer as well. So I think that this would make a rather interesting band, in my opinion.
I have a question though.
Mhm.
So, if Gord is your singer, do the other guys have to dress up in costumes like you guys did? So.
I don't think he would. I don't think he would make that. I could imagine Neil putting a mask on or something. That'd be hilarious if he did.
All right, here we go, John.
Okay.
One band. One band.
Damn it! I wanted to show my super group, but
Maybe
okay,
later.
I'm going to do in
in
different order though.
Okay.
I'm going to start my guitar player with a.
You
lesser
can't even
known-
do it, but the same order like we're all
because
doing.
I
You
like
have to
my
do your own
drummer
thing.
as the last because he's so
What?
cool.
All right, yeah, okay.
But
yeah.
I'm picking Pete Wells from the guitar player from Rose Tattoo, the guy who does all the slide, basically the lead guy, the main guy of the band. And I'm forming a second tier band. He's not going to compete with the greats, but Pete Wells, the slide lead guitar player from Rose Tattoo, and we're going to keep it in Australia. Rhythm guitar player is going to be Malcolm Young, and on bass we're going to have Pete Way going to England, and it's going to be a rock and roll outfit. And Steve Marriott's going to be the singer, and the drummer's going to be Jerry Nolan from Johnny Thunders and the Heartbreakers and New York Dolls. Gene Krupa, protege. The guy, only because he played with Johnny Thunders, we don't take him seriously. The guy was maybe better Charlie Watts than Charlie Watts.
So
Like,
who's,
but
the guy, who's the guy you said?
Jerry
the
Nolan.
Okay, got it.
Jerry
Got it.
Nolan. And he's like the epitome of a rock and roll drummer. If he was in any other band, he'd be hailed as one of the greats.
So you do realize with Pete Way in your band that the band can never tour outside of England.
Yeah, well, Jerry Nolan's a junkie. We got a lot of problems. We got a lot of problems in the band. They're not going to last long, but that's a great second tier band with Steve Marriott singing, and it's just
Steve Marriott and Pete Way were both on an incarnation of my band for quite some time. So Steve Marriott was easily going to be because he can also sing. I was looking at it from a perspective of vocalizing and writing and everything. So
this is a perfect rock and roll band. I mean, they couldn't do wrong. And Pete Way is a good writer, and with Malcolm, it's just gonna be simple songs. And Marriott could do anything, in the rock and roll blues realm. But so I started my whole thing based around Pete Way, and then Pete Way got ditched when I came up with my supergroup. My supergroup is fantastic, but when we're all done, I'll just throw it out there for kicks.
All right, Steve, bring us home.
All right, I wanted just some dirty British blues. That was like the first thing that popped into my head. And so I started, I went back and forth. I thought about Cozy Powell, but man, just dirty blues. Ginger Baker, he just hits it just the right way.
You're always going to kill the rest of your band though, right?
Well, they're all dead anyway.
Yeah, exactly. What have we got to lose? They're invincible. Yeah, good point.
Yeah. My bass and vocalists are the same, so I'll do that last. So on guitar, I had to go with Rory Gallagher. He's just got that beautiful sound. And I actually, for my second, I did two guitars. Mm-hmm. Second guitar, I left the UK and went with Dwayne Allman.
Oh, nice.
He just had a way of playing with other players where, like, he added to the lead. You know what I mean? He wasn't playing rhythm. He would just do these little flares with, like, Eric Clapton.
He even played with Clapton. He played with Clapton on a double album.
Yeah, but he's so good that it doesn't sound like it's a second guitar player a lot of the time.
The stuff he did with Boz Scaggs, he fit right in. He never.
Oh man, he was so good, and he could do any style. So I put those two together, and then I had to go with Phil Lynott, just some dirty blues with his vocals and his.
He was my first drummer. He was my first bass player in my life.
Oh man,
that's who I was flipping back and forth with Squire. Yeah, just dirty and heavy.
So who's your singer?
Same guy.
Okay. Sorry. So you doubled it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Steve, shoot me your band again.
Yeah, it was Ginger Baker, Rory Gallagher, Dwayne Allman, and Phil Lynott.
Oh, so you only had 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, John. What is this like? Super.
Okay, so the super group. I'm thinking like. If I had the match, who did I got to think now. Who did I have? Okay. Jeff Beck on guitar. And this is like 1969, 70 Jeff Beck, like the Jeff Beck group. And you got Jeff Beck on guitar, Steve Marriott singing, also playing like the Steve Marriott Humble Pie, like the kick-ass Small Faces guitar. On bass, John Entwistle. on drums, Mitch Mitchell, and on bass, John Entwistle. And the thing, like, they're all bombastic in a way, but they all know about dynamics. And like, you could go crazy and you could bring it down. You know how Steve Marriott brings it down, and Mitch Mitchell could bring, like, everyone knew, and Jeff Beck will just play over it, and Steve Marriott could be ripping chords. It would just be fantastic with Entwistle holding down the fort with, because he could get Hendrixy and boost up into freak beat, and it would just be, and John Lord, like, he could do the boogie if he wanted, or he could go into the organ on Steve Marriott's like ballady stuff. It would be so good.
I had Keith Emerson on one of my lists too. So
yeah, I thought about.
Nobody picked Wakeman, eh? Nobody picked Rick Wakeman.
He's alive.
He's alive.
I actually thought about. Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't pick Rory Gallagher, Bobby. You didn't even mention Rory Gallagher.
Well, there's better.
He's dead.
Is Alvin Lee still alive? Is Alvin Lee still alive or no?
Yeah, I think so.
I think Alvin Lee's still alive. Yeah, I thought about Lane Staley is one of my favorite singers of all time, but I was thinking just British blues, and he could probably pull it off. He had an amazing voice. I mean, the Mad Season stuff.
Patrick, where is the list? I mean, you used to put up the list as every guy, name it, right? I don't remember everybody.
He didn't put it up just to fuck with you, Bobby.
What are you talking about? This spreadsheet? Oh,
yeah. We only do spreadsheet for the people who are alive, the bands that are alive.
Yeah, we're not voting. So I just
ranking.
I mean, I have the sheet, but I mean, I can post it. But I mean,
okay.
But I mean, we're not ranking. We're not going to vote. Whose band is best or anything. I just had it so we could list it.
They're all so different.
Yeah.
I would put ours in the chat.
Hang on.
Whose band?
Did Alvin Lee die, Raymond?
We should have done a contest. Whose band sold more records?
I definitely was thinking about Gary Moore and John Lord both. Those were a couple of them.
I wanted Steve Marriott because it would work better with my band, but I didn't want Steve Marriott in the same band with Steve Marriott. Ian McClagan I wanted on keyboards, but I didn't want him in this. Pick two guys from the same band.
Actually,
I picked him over John Lord.
He was one of the guys I had with Jack Bruce. I was trying to decide. I was like, because I.
All right, so if you want to see the list, there it is. There's a link to it. So anybody could go look at it and pick it out. So there you go. There is the link, and I'll post it in the description of the video. So yeah.
Oh, there. All right. I don't see me.
You're all the way. Scroll over. It's wide. Move the scroll bar to the right. You're right after Ed. You're column 8. Now I picked Ronnie James Dio, but he can be a little cantankerous, man. So I don't know, So
if I was forming a metal band, I think I'd pick Dio as the singer, like a classic metal band.
Why did you pick Wakeman? He's fucking alive. You find yourself, Bobby? You find your list?
Nah, mine won't go. I don't know why. Mine will only go over the band.
All right, hang on a second. Here, I'll move you. There you go.
We got 2 Steve Marriott's fans.
Yeah.
That guy.
There were a couple of Cozy Powell.
So now look, 'cause I moved you over, Bobby. You
Cozy Powell, yes.
And there were a couple Phil Lynotts too, weren't there?
Yup. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't mean to ignore you guys.
And actually, I chose Phil Lynott as the singer, but Rory Gallagher can sing just as good,
All right, there you are. There, I'm red.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Right there. I forgot Jeff Beck.
Had a beer.
One of the cool thing about him, like Cliff Burton, is he was a real inventive player too. He wasn't just a bass player. He could really write, and that would have made him fun with just about anybody.
Yeah, it's hard to get songwriters sometimes out of these like great players, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know Jeff Beck as a songwriter. I mean, he certainly wrote some, but
yeah,
he was more just a player. Who,
well, I mean, Van Halen's a great example of that. The songs that he wrote are the worst songs that they released. You know.
Yeah.
And he talked about
nice.
That. He was like,
great track, Patrick.
He was like, the reason they brought Hagar in is because he could write. You know. I just listened to this the other day.
Killer record.
Who is it?
X.
Oh, right. I don't know. Of course, I don't know a lot of guys you guys talk about.
I found these at the record store yesterday. I was surprised because I never see these in this magazine album. And then this other magazine album. There was like 2 magazine albums at the record store yesterday that I never see. So, I thought that was interesting.
I think I have magazine sitting out.
I think I got one of their albums. I don't know.
Oh, you know who would have been a cool secondary musician for sax? Would have been, what's her name? Polystyrene? Had her in your band.
I'll be sleeping on the couch again tonight.
Why, did you smack a broad and you get kicked out or what?
You put yourself in the doghouse, Bobby?
Nah. I had this bed I had from IKEA. I had it, 25 years. I loved it, right? I bought new mattresses and box springs for it. You know, I like that hard foam pillowy stuff. Memory foam, they call it.
Yep.
But, the bed, 2 nights ago, the goddamn bed broke, right? And fuck, so what am I going to do?
Watch your ash, Bobby.
Your ash.
I burned so much shit you wouldn't believe.
We used to smoke. We would believe.
So I went and ordered one on Walmart was selling a goddamn.
I love that record.
So I got one from Walmart. They're delivering it.
I haven't sold it yet.
Hey, Bill, that's a good band.
I'm going to re-record it.
That's an underrated record.
That's
I thought about Tommy Bolin. I thought about all those people.
So what happened to the bed? I didn't catch it. What happened?
Well, I ordered from Walmart. I ordered, what do you call it, the iron bed. The IKEA one was all fucking wood, massive wood, right? But this one here, I ordered just, an iron bed thing. It cost like $160 delivered, right? So, But the problem is I got to take down the old bed and take all of that out to the garbage bin, right? I just like to throw it over the balcony, but I can't do it.
You lost the Allen wrench?
Yeah, I don't have the Allen wrench. Well, no, actually, I got all kinds of tools. I had to, when I bought the scooter, I actually had to go out and get my tools. I'm old school, right? All my tools were Imperial, but I had to go out and buy metric tools for the goddamn scooter, right? Bugged my ass, right?
What does Canada use? Does Canada use metric tools or do they use standard tools?
Well, if it's made in China.
Depends. The cars are probably metric. Bicycles are still standard.
It's you guys in the States that are Imperial. Pretty much the rest of the world has gone metric. I mean, you guys tried to go metric, I don't know, decades ago or half a century
Only for certain
ago.
things.
Yeah.
Swimming.
I prefer the Imperial. I don't know what kilometers an hour or a liter is or centimeters, millimeters. I don't know what none of that shit is, right? I got to look it up on the internet. Honest to God. I got a general idea. That's it.
Very cool, Raymond. Was that the chick? Was Rhonda Smith? Was that the one who did that show at Ronnie Scott's that was famous? She was kind of
the young girl. Yeah, she's really good.
Was that her? I mean, she's probably not young now, but that was
I'm
30
pretty
years
sure
ago.
that's who it is.
Yeah, I remember that. Jeff always had different lineup, you know.
Joe is good friend.
Yeah, I wonder if Jeff Beck's calling all of his women bass players. Because he always seems to have women for bass players. I wonder if he's calling them.
Where is that confounded bridge?
He was a big champion of women's band,
Miss myself.
women musicians.
I'll tell you what, he loves Ford hot rods. He loves working on them, taking them. He gets all greased up.
Oh, that's all he loves. That's his only passion. He said he's talked about it. He said he doesn't even like playing guitar anymore. It's his job. He said when he's not on tour, he puts his guitar away and doesn't look at it. Yeah, he's all about the cars. Yeah. He's kind of like Jay Leno.
He's very passionate about like rock and roll, though, like the music, like talking about the original artists and stuff.
He likes
I'm sure he tunes it out too, but like
he likes to fish too. He don't do much of it, but he likes fish.
thank you guys.
Some other man.
Cal, I like Cal. I like Cal.
Several people in the peanut gallery chose Donald Duck Dunn.
Donald Duck Dunn, yeah.
I was
There's
looking
a
for synergy.
lot of good like session kind of cats.
I thought about Jerry
I
Reed,
mean, you
too.
could have
I
gone
would
with
just like
Tommy
to hear
Thomas
him.
Tedesco.
So Steve, I was thinking of Jerry Lee in the band I had with Malcolm Young, like doing like just a boogie, but his personality with him and Steve Harriet, just a basic rock band.
Yeah.
Fun.
I was thinking about Jerry Reed. I would just love to hear him
Jerry
play.
Reed. I think you said Jerry Lee.
I would love to
Sorry.
hear him play with some of the blues guys because he could play some really killer
I ain't
blues
gonna
guitars,
tell.
too. But Jerry Lee would have been cool too, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking Nicky Hopkins, but I like him more as not a touring guy. He was more of a Jerry Reed, and like you could set him up with a trio, like a Phil Lynott, and like I don't know, you could set him up with an interesting trio. He would be amazing.
And he's one of those guys, man. I mean, his albums, he was good, but live, man, he was like another
You
level.
could put Glenn Campbell with those kind of people, man. Glenn Campbell could play with anybody. And he
Charlie
could,
McCoy, you can throw Charlie McCoy in too. He not only play guitar, he play the harp.
I'm just trying to find a bridge.
McCoy, man. Jerry Reed and Frank Campbell were playing guitar.
Hey, Vance, what album is this off of?
House
House
of
of
the
the Holy.
You could resurrect fucking Badfinger.
Last
Yeah,
song.
you could do a good country like Jerry Reed, Tony Rice on rhythm guitar, Hank Williams singing. You could
Charlie
could
Daniels on fiddle.
Oh, Jerry
you
Reed.
could make
Yeah.
a country band.
You could put Toy Caldwell on guitar from fucking Marshall Tucker Band. You could do all kinds of Doug Gray from
Maybe even
Marshall
throw a
Tucker
Skinner
Cliffy
guy in
Stone
there.
on bass.
Paul Goddard from Atlanta Rhythm Section on bass. I could make some killer Southern rock bands. I mean, amazing
Oh
Southern
yeah,
rock
yeah,
bands.
yeah.
Barry
They're all
Oakley,
dead.
Dwayne Allman,
Yeah.
Southern
they're all
rock,
dead.
Southern rock, you
Holly
basically
Hatchet,
have
all those bits.
Southern
The
rock. You
Outlaws.
have the entire palette.
Because they're all
Yeah.
dead. They are all
It's like
dead.
putting together big bands, swing bands from the 40s, from the 30s and 40s. Like,
Has anybody left from Allman Brothers Band? They're all dead now too, aren't they?
I think Jumbo might be alive.
Imagine trying to pick a blues band like that, and for your lead singer, you got a choice between Muddy or the Wolf. Gotta be like either, Stones or Beatles.
Now that I think about it, everybody from Skinner is dead now. The last one just died last year.
Well, do you count Artemis Pyle?
He wasn't an original though.
No,
No,
I'm saying
But he played on the second half of that. But yeah, you're right.
It was Molly Hatchet. All the guys from Molly Hatchet.
Yeah, those guys
are
Oh,
are
dead.
they're all gone.
Has anybody left from 38 Special?
Yeah, what's his
Yeah,
name?
Donnie
fucking,
Van Zandt.
Donnie Van Zandt.
Oh,
And the main dude with the beard. What's his name?
Yeah.
He's still
I
together.
forgot about that.
They're still touring. Yeah.
Yeah, 38
Is he
Special
still-
hasn't
is he
had the
doing
tragedy
both
that the Outlaws and those bands have had. Blackfoot, the only one left is Ricky Medlock, I think.
Yeah.
And he's playing with
Skinner.
Skinner.
He's
Yeah.
been playing
He was
with
a-
Skinner since the
He was an
80s.
original member of Skinner.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
didn't have
before
to record it
they
until
got
that
signed.
age.
Yeah.
Hey, safe and sound. You fuck Johnny Depp. He's the guy who did the eulogy at the Jeff Beck funeral. So Jeff Beck's family got an awful lot of it, right?
Johnny Depp's a funny one though, because if you watch his videos from the '80s, he was really good on guitar.
Yeah, you know the way
he was going to be the guitar player in Rock City Angels, right?
Yeah,
he was the guitar player. He got replaced. He left the band for
He's
21
still
Jump
pretty
Street.
good in a rock and roll.
No,
like,
he is. He is.
Yeah, I mean, not technically good, but he's still like he's got the right feel on that, like Keith Richards, Johnny
He can play
Thunder's
rhythm.
rhythm.
He can't lead though, and he used to be able to play really good lead.
So in case you didn't notice, I'm playing songs from bands or that have dead members. So yeah.
Pretty funny. Johnny Depp.
I would have actually put Christine McVie in my band if I would have thought about that as a keyboard player.
Somebody listed her as a backup singer.
She could sing the blues. She could play keyboards. She was great.
What's the Play Bobby, the opening track from Rock City Angels? It was Johnny Depp's band. He's not on. He left before they recorded, but I believe he wrote the song or co-wrote the song. The opening track.
Deep Inside My Heart.
What's the first song?
Deep Inside My Heart.
I think it's that one because it's got like a boogie groove, like a John Lee Hooker groove. I'm pretty sure it's the opening track.
With Johnny Depp or without?
No, well, you know what? I can't remember. He's got credits on the album.
Yeah, he's not on there.
Yeah, but he definitely wrote it.
He's on the.
Maybe he's just got a thank you.
Their singles and shit.
I haven't even opened my acoustic sound box from Saturday.
Oh.
I don't know what this is.
I got one with the Genesis in it. Trick of the Tail.
Oh, maybe that's what this is.
Yeah, it's definitely Deep Inside My Heart. That's the song.
Yes, Fragile is coming in January.
Yep, that's all I got with Trick the Tail. Is that the only one for this month or what?
No, I thought there was 3. That was the only one I ordered.
Oh, maybe this is so I'm getting John Laidlaw's too, so maybe this is John's. So yeah, so I'm collecting them from him and he's I'm shipping them over to Scotland. So.
Oh, okay.
I haven't bought any of those in a while. Nothing's popped up I really wanted. I'll get Fragile in January though for sure.
I pre-ordered, I don't know, 15.
They haven't that close to the edge yet though, have they? No.
No.
I'm curious about Fragile because I've got every notable Fragile pressing there is, so I'll be curious to see how that stacks up. I'm very excited to hear that. So yeah.
Yeah, me too. I only have 2 versions of it, but
I think I got like 11 different ones. Last time I checked, yeah.
Okay, those little Taiwan pressings don't count, Mark.
No. Well, sure, every kind of pressing counts if you're collecting, not if you're listening for audio.
I was at Half Price Books, man. I'm sitting there, I'm seeing those fucking bogus Taiwanese fucking pressings. And one of them was like for $200. I'm like going, and before he walks by, I'm like going, dude, what are y'all doing, man? You know these are fucking boots, right? You know?
I wouldn't pay that for it, but I mean, as far as collecting, if it was, you know,
is this one because Mick Jagger died?
No, because it's Charlie Watts died.
Oh, Charlie. Okay.
And
Dude,
Sonny
get this,
Rollins,
so-
and Sonny Rollins was on this.
So that store that I went to today that I got the Crystal Logic from also had a mint pressing. It looked unplayed of the RL Zeppelin. Oh, it's the nicest copy I've ever seen. And then
$600.
What's that?
$600.
He didn't have a price on it. He said he thought about selling it in the store.
Which
but
one?
The Robert Ludwig Zeppelin.
Oh, okay.
It's like a mint copy that looks unplayed.
You mean
Yeah.
two?
You can't blame him. He could get a whole month's rent from that one record.
Yeah. No, he said he's gonna do an online auction for it because he'll get the most that way. But he got that. And he got sealed copies of like 4 of the Beatles Mo-Fis.
But to me, that Crystal Logic, you show great records, and then sometimes you show them, I'm like, yeah, well, that's cool. And then the next day I think about it, I'm like, holy cow, those are good records. But that Crystal Logic, that's like a score of the year. Like that's...
like I said, I haven't seen... I don't remember even seeing that in the 90s in record stores. I mean, that never popped up.
I used to scour eBay, and I remember how rare that would come up in like the late 90s when eBay started.
And I've been looking for this one for so long. This is one of my favorite records.
Yeah, Rick and Mortis. Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen that one. Is there another one?
I've only seen photos of it.
Cover?
What's that?
Another one with a bluish cover.
Yeah, there was one that came out. That was 5 or 6 years ago. And it had a guy digging a grave. I believe that's their only 2 records.
Oh.
Because one of the guys died. So one of the guys died, and what they did on the last record was they found some old studio cuts of him playing guitar, and they basically turned those into a new album.
Well, the joke of the day, when me and Scotty,
I can play a Joni Mitchell song.
We go into Sugar Records today, and these guys have a sealed copy of Nazareth Play the Game. And they're asking $200 for this thing.
Oh my God!
I was like, this is a steal. It's like a $5 record, maybe. It's a $1 record.
And it's honestly one of their worst records from the 70s.
I couldn't get over it. I was like,
this is a copy
goof,
of
right?
Freaky Smiley.
I said, this has to be a goof.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it better be.
Seen that record because there's no great songs on it.
I was just floored. I mean, I told Scotty too. Every time I go in there, these guys are way overpriced, and that just was like,
Did Scotty score some stuff? Sometimes they're overpriced on that, and then they neglect the 45s.
Yeah. Scotty did pick up 45s, and then he picked stuff up at Dusty and
people who are overpricing Nazareth records, or Foghat records. They're not necessarily clued into like rare 45s.
So this
everything.
So this is Sonny Rollins on the sax.
Yep. He's on 3 songs on this album, supposedly.
He's good.
Sounds like Bowie.
Bowie was great on sax.
I had Jerry Nolan, BB, on my drums. I don't know.
That B-side
Who's
of
Roland
Heroes,
S. Howard?
the 2 songs where he plays sax on there are so fucking
Oh,
good.
yeah. He's great on saxophone. Very underrated.
Roland S. Howard. Who is that? I know.
Oh, I know who that is.
Who is that? Tell me.
All I know is I have something about him. Hold on, let me see. Hold on. Roland. It's ROW. Yeah, I've got Pop Crimes.
What a tune, man! What a tune.
I don't know.
They had that as far back as Goats Had Soup. That song.
He's an Australian guy. Oh, Birthday Party. He was in the Birthday Party.
Oh, I was thinking that. Just not so much that I knew Roland, but I knew BB.
Here's your Rock City Angels song.
So this was Johnny Depp's first band.
Yeah.
Greetings.
He's not on
LaGrange.
this show, Bobby.
Doing that. Sounds like LaGrange going down to LaGrange.
Yeah, which sounds like John Lee Hooker. It's
And these guys were when he was in the band, when they were playing the clubs, if you see the videos, they were a lot
very Guns N' Roses. Like,
yeah, but it's almost got this kind of like.
Oh no! So here's the thing about that, Patrick. The Rock City Angels was the big band in L.A., not Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses would open for them at one point.
But they were very similar looking.
What happened is
by the time the album came out,
they both got signed at the same time by the same label, and they decided to push. Yeah, they decided to push Guns N' Roses. Because they had more of the look than Rock City Angels did. So Rock City Angels got pushed off like 2 years before their album was, and they went to Nashville, got away from LA to record it. And by that time, they weren't as sleazy.
A little more of like a rootsy sound, but in almost like a Stray Cats cartoony way. Like it makes it more accessible.
If you listen to their live stuff from the LA era, though, it's a lot sleazier. It's a lot heavier.
And they were very Stones. They would have horns and stuff, and not as good as the Stones. They were definitely.
Well, and they moved to Nashville, and it took them like a year and a half to record the album. It was one,
Who produced it? Was it Wormwood or one of those guys?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I
Probably
can't
one of
remember.
those kind of typical LA.
No pick a Dimebag Darrell who was
So it's a really
shot on stage today.
killer
Yeah,
record.
same with Lennon, right? Lennon and
got
Dimebag
today.
are the two people today.
They were actually
So Young Man's Blues
assassinated.
was...
Yeah.
Tom Sutat was the executive producer, but he's the A&R guy.
Yeah.
See the Lennon, I was told. I mean, I knew.
Joe
about it,
Hardy was the
but
producer.
the whole Dimebag thing. That was shocking.
Zutat mixed
Yeah.
it.
The Dimebag thing really shocked me and kind of bothered me too, because I was playing live a lot at that
Yeah.
time, and we were going to the States to play
Hey,
and
Cleveland.
stuff. And to hear some guy fucking walk up on stage, you know, and walk right up to the guy and pull a pistol on the guy. I mean, come on, man.
And
That
both
was
were
unbelievable.
fans. Both were
Yeah.
fans.
Well,
Chapman
what's crazy about that one though was he blamed Dimebag for Pantera
and breakup.
not playing
Yeah.
anymore, but it wasn't Dimebag.
It wasn't him.
you
Yeah.
know?
It was fucking.
Yeah, it was Anselmo and the heroin
Yeah.
that was causing that. You know?
Yeah.
John Raymond, there was 2 versions of the record. You need the double album. The double album was 3 sides. It was a single album, then it had a side 3 of songs, and side 4 was 45 RPM of a song on the album, and it's kind of like funky. It's their like version of Heartbreaker by the Stones meets like War, Edwin Starr's War. It's like, and they extend it, so it's like this funky disco hard rock, just ridiculousness on side 4. But the 3 songs on the 4 songs or 5 songs on side 3 is worth paying the extra couple bucks if anyone is paying attention, because that's all you need. That's all they put out really, besides stuff after they broke up, CDs and stuff.
Was this the same drummer on this album?
No,
I don't think
this
anyone
their-
was left but Mark
this
Real.
is Mark Reale.
It's not Cozy Powell.
But they pulled off this kind of cool, like 80s power metal, but there was also like some 80s cheesiness to the vocals too.
This is a record. I mean, maybe there were hip metal guys who knew this, but this seems to me it was a record that was discovered way after the fact. How great it was.
For me, it was because I kind of stopped after fucking Fire Down Under. And
I think most of us that liked them early on were into thrash by this point.
Yeah,
I was day one with it.
really.
And this would have been, I mean, this would have been way too power metal cheesy for me at the time. You know?
Yeah, same here in '88.
And I love it now, but
But I had already discovered Halloween at that point.
Ed was much more power metal. Like we were more thrash and crossover. Ed was more power metal. Like,
well, even Halloween, I loved the first couple albums where it was more thrash than power metal, and then once Keeper of the Seven Keys came out, I wasn't into it anymore.
but
I
even
was all
Halloween,
over
they
that.
came out early
Yeah.
enough. It was
That's
still
what I
just
was
heavy
into.
metal.
See, with me, it was
Yeah.
the opposite. I didn't like Walls of Jericho and that. I
The
liked
Walls of Jericho had some thrash elements that I loved about it.
Yeah, but I liked more the keys stuff. That's where I got into them.
No,
right?
I get you. And for at that era, though, if they had a keyboard,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, exactly. I understand. I mean,
you got a keyboard.
Like
Those guys
even-
are pussies. Yeah.
even later on when like black metal first came out, I really thought black metal was almost like a new wave of this heavy metal thing, where it was heavy metal with this new vocal style, you know.
yeah.
And some of the bands were almost punk in the vocals too, and I
Yeah.
really dug that.
There was definitely a line. That
Yeah,
black
and
metal
then they
was.
started adding the keyboards and
And
shit,
it was like a
went
new-
ambient, and it ruined it for me.
And it
Yeah.
was like a new generation of kids, and like
Yeah.
I was the equivalent of like the Judas Priest guy when
Yeah.
thrash came out. Like, oh, I can't get into thrash, and eventually I got caught on a Metallica.
Yeah.
But I'm into heavy metal like Priest, and when I was into thrash and stuff, black metal was that line where the newer
Yeah.
kids took over. I'm like, I like Venom, but I can't get
Yeah.
into this.
And
you
see,
know?
I was like in that perfect where I was on both sides of it, you know, because I grew
I
up in
was
the
too.
80s, but in the 90s, at the beginning of the 90s, I was in high school, so I was right at that age, you know. But like I said, as soon as it went ambient and got away from that heavy metal sound,
I never noticed
they
how
lost me.
Iron Maiden galloping this song is, man. It very has such a
Oh,
big
yeah.
time Iron Maiden gallop feel to it. I never really noticed that.
Bobby Jarzonbeck was drums on this one.
Who?
Bobby Jarzonbeck.
Oh yeah, that guy. He's now in
He's
like
in Billy
he's in all
Squires,
kinds
isn't
of bands.
He was in Billy Squires' band. I think he was Billy Squires' drummer.
And Tony
He's a
Moore
piper.
on vocals.
The best part is you say the Iron Maiden reference, but like these guys are simultaneous. Like Riot and Maiden are the,
Oh yeah.
they're the same era.
No,
Exactly.
Riot predates Creed.
Well,
But this
Maiden
Maiden-
started in the
Maiden-
70s too, so
Yeah.
like
This is like
you know
the
they're
Maiden
almost
goes
the
back to
same blueprint.
75.
Yeah.
You know, like
What's that?
79, 80 was their first records.
What do you say, Ed?
Maiden goes back to 75.
Yeah, but
Oh, there's
Riot
Riot.
was pretty much 75, 76.
Yeah.
You know, they were.
Yeah, but Riot
not
had
be
so,
exact,
many different,
but-
had so many different versions, but this is 88. There's a whole different Riot. Than
Oh,
Riot.
yeah.
Oh, 100% different bands. Yeah. And there was a clear, like, ending.
That was
this is
really
the
that was really the change right there. Was that album right there?
This
Prior
one
to
was.
that, yeah.
Oh, sorry, he wasn't in Squire. He was in Faith Warnings. Bobby's just stars of day. But you know who else was in Riot? And we joked this. It was Bobby Rondinelli, of course.
Oh, the greatest bridesmaid ever.
And the dead person in this band is obviously Clarence Clemens. And I think there's one more person who's died.
I think didn't Ron Bitton die or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roy Bitt, the
Roy
piano
Bitt.
player.
This is the bat signal for Harry. If Harry doesn't pop in and say, hey, guys, I'd be surprised.
Then, like, I think Harry proposed to his Bruce Springsteen. Like, said something, and Harry, like, when he proposed, something about him and his wife, man. When Bruce Springsteen said something to them,
I tell you what, when I told him I thought John Cougar Mellencamp was more authentic than Bruce Springsteen, he jumped in real quick.
yeah, he's a big Springsteen guy. Yeah.
So did everyone in the Peanut Gallery put up their best band? I know Lisa didn't. I don't. Did Raymond?
I tried
Did
to
you put
star.
up, did Raymond do? I can't remember.
I didn't
Cleveland
see too
didn't.
many. I didn't see too many.
Looks like we have
Oh.
16 of them.
Yeah, there's
You're,
16
you're
of them that are
a 4 or
started.
5 member band of all dead people.
Travis did.
Four members.
Bandy. Russ Dawson did. Kieran did. Star Trekker. Trey Winborn did.
Did Raymond? I can't remember.
VGR. I don't see one from Raymond.
I can't remember. I mean, I read them all that came through. I just can't remember.
Look at the tab up at the top.
Lavelle. Hey, Lavelle.
You'll see the starred tab up there.
Yeah, you'll see them there
That's the ones
What
they
am I
were
looking at?
at the
up
top
by the
beside.
private tab.
I don't know if I could do this. This sound. Oh,
At the
Star.
top, it'll
oh,
say
okay. Oh,
starred.
wow. I never seen that.
Yeah,
Vinyl
star.
Gorilla.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I've been trying to star all the ones that I see.
Oh,
so-
okay. Oh, so George Wasaga George had Elvis. Oh, this is
Yep.
a completely different take. Okay, Elvis on vocals, George Harrison on guitar, Charlie Watts on drum, John Entwistle on bass, and Tom Petty on guitar. Now that they worked together, I could see that working.
That worked real well.
Take a look at
Hot
Freddie
Frog.
Black's Vinyl Gorilla Records.
Yeah, his is
Hot
great.
Frog
Ray
is
Charles on
Randy.
keyboards, Duck Dunn on bass, Digi Metal
The Meters,
drums, and Roy Buchanan on guitar. Etta
and
James.
James on vocals. All right.
So how many people on Smack are in his band?
That's a festival band. That's a band that plays the outdoor festivals.
How many of those people can't get insurance because they're on Smack? I mean, so
Yeah.
Hey Trey, did you mean John Bonham, not Jason Bonham?
Jason
probably-
died?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, Jason's dead.
3 vocalists. Oh, Lennon. That's okay. We got a Lennon from Trey, Jason Bonham, John Lennon, Jimi Hendrix, Entwistle, Christy McVie. Hot Frog had Randy Rhoads, Phil Lynott, Neil Peart. Okay, there you go. Trio.
Donald Duck Dunn made a number of guys lists. Same with Lynette, Phil Lynette.
Yeah, Phil was. already said that.
John Bandy had Jeff Beck and Jimmy Page playing together. There's neither of them are like rhythm guys.
But they're best friends.
And they play well together.
They were
They
best
have,
friends.
And Bob Marley, I guess, singing,
and I think
unless he's playing rhythm. Is he
I had
playing?
Bob Marley. I had Bob Marley as a
rhythm?
singer, but
I love Bob Marley and I
that
love
would
his rhythm
pigeonhole.
playing,
That
but
would
he is the
pigeonhole.
king of 1 and 2 chord songs.
Yeah.
But that would have been pigeonholing you to some kind of genre because his voice is so fucking, identifiable.
Zafad has Neil Peart, Randy Rhoads, John Wetton, Greg Lake, and John Lord. That's a band. I think Mark could get behind that band.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think so.
I liked Mike's. That worked. I think they worked really well. Mike Got the Spins had Neil Peart, Paul Raymond on keys and rhythm guitar, Eddie Van Halen on lead, Phil Lynott and bass and vocals, and Brian Howe on lead vocals.
I'm kind of
Yeah,
glad
that'd be
that
pretty
Paul
good.
Raymond got some love by a few people, so that's nice.
Oak and Shields build in Gary Moore, Jack Bruce, John Lord, Ted McKenna, and dead producer
Ted
Martin
McKenna,
Birch.
wow, man, from Michael
Yeah.
Schenker?
Yeah.
And from Alex Harvey?
Sensational Alex Harvey, yeah.
Good band. You could put, no one said Frank Zappa. He's dead. You could put Frank Zappa and Alex Harvey in the same band. That would have been, what a band that would be.
Tell you, when I seen Zappa in '69, I freaked out how good he was. Really, he was fantastic. Man, early, right?
Live, okay.
We
There's
don't get the
Steve
love.
on.
Zappa don't get the love for his guitar playing. I actually did a video one time where it was just Frank doing lead, about 3 or 4 minute video. Where I just said, "How good is this guy?"
Cleveland's got a power trio. Lynott singing, I take it.
Yeah.
He's got Lynott on drums, John Bonham singing, and Eddie Van Halen on guitar.
When did Chicken Shack break up? When
Well, I think that was Stan Webb's band. I think that was his band. He just kind of like manipulated people in and out of it. Like Paul Rain was in that band, like Christine McVie, and I think maybe a guy from the Groundhog.
were they
There
in
you go.
Woodstock?
No.
That's another band Mark will get behind. Darren's got Neil Peart, Frank Zappa, and Jack Pastorius.
Yeah,
Can you imagine those three hanging out?
That's a lot of notes. That's a lot of
They
a lot
probably
of
would
notes.
have killed Jaco Pastorius because they said that guy was an asshole of a drunk.
Most people are. But,
Zappa trying to keep him in line.
Well, that's what got him killed. Didn't he start a fight with a
He
bouncer?
got beat
or
up by a
something?
bouncer. Yeah, he got
Yeah.
bounced off the sidewalk by a bouncer. Yeah. Yeah, you get Pete Way, Steve Marriott, you get a bunch of guys that
Jerry Nolan from the Dolls and the
guys.
Heartbreakers.
Sid Vicious. Yeah, you get all those guys.
Wow,
together.
yeah, I don't even barely
Yeah.
count him as a musician.
Yeah.
Sid and Gigi Allen.
Yeah, I don't even count
That'd
him
be
as a
a mess.
musician either. Yeah. I like the early GG stuff, but I count him as outside of the rock and roll, like performance artist kind of dude.
Yeah.
That was such a crazy. I mean, listen to his first record compared to
Yeah,
everything.
first
else.
record's great.
I wonder what happened to that guy that fucking that he just changed like that. Or maybe we just know that first record because of the later crazy shit that he did. You know?
Yeah, I don't think that we would have known that record. Maybe like obscure punk it would be. If he never did anything else, it could be like
got
some.
a lot of like, and Cozy Powell's got more than I thought. I was going to be the only person that put Cozy Powell.
I
He
thought
got a
about
lot of
Cozy
respect.
Powell, but he wasn't rock and roll, like roots rock and roll, like enough.
But I'm surprised, man. He got more mention than Neil Peart. You know, I mean, he got more mention.
I
than
thought
John Bonham.
I was so close to using him, but Ginger Baker just kind of beat him out by a
I
little
was like
bit.
going, nobody's going to pick Cozy Powell. I got this in the bag. You know, nobody's going to pick him. And fucking, I was like, oh, wow, that's really cool. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
Cozy
he's
Powell could
phenomenal.
play blues, hard rock, metal.
Yeah, Karen Carpenter couldn't hang on the road with those guys, though, man. They'd be too vicious for them.
They be eating food.
Yeah, eating food.
Yeah, they
She
got
was
catering,
pretty
you
insane
know.
too, though, didn't she? She played drums, and I think she played pedal steel too.
She's
Didn't
really
she?
good. She's great. I saw her live.
Yeah.
I saw them live. One of my first concerts as a kid was seeing the Carpenters.
They kind of say her brother's the reason that she ended up.
I don't think
basically-
John can get behind this band because Jim Morrison on vocals as well. I don't think we can get behind that band.
Buddy Miles. Nobody mentioned Buddy Miles or Jackson for the MP as drummers.
Lavelle, we kind of saw that. There's that Jimi Hendrix jam where Jim Morrison comes up on the mic and fucking starts singing about getting it in the A.
I can't hold on.
Yeah, Raymond, and we can't read minds because, like, we think they would work together. Like, people might hate each other, you know.
I just said I thought about Christine McVie as my keyboard player, but no.
Yeah. Corey Seaferg with the band that will not work.
Where's
Johnny
that
Cash, Ginger Baker, and Cliff Burton.
Oh my God.
Talking about Jimmy Morrison and Van Morrison, when them toured the States for the first time and they played the Whiskey a Go-Go in L.A., the opening act was the Doors, and later on in the show, Morrison got up on stage with Van Morrison. They sang a tune together, and apparently they got along. But you know, he was temperamental.
Well, nobody mentioned Arthur Lee from Love or fucking Brian McLean from Love.
Yeah, that was another guy, right?
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of people, you know, that are really good that, you know, just, you know, aren't who you think of.
You can't remember them all anyhow. And even guys that, you know, let's say we mentioned 100, there'll be another 100 someday.
Well, it's not just that. Some guys on the other, like I thought about Les Claypool. I think he's one of the best bassists I've ever seen. But he would be the lead. You know, it wouldn't work with some of those other amazing.
It depends on what kind of music you're going to play too. Like for a guitar player, you might need a guy who's good on a slide, like a Mick Taylor, some guy who's not in your face, but I mean really, really good. That's
why I chose.
So here's what we do. Everybody take your list, go to AI and say, AI, make me a song from this band. Yeah. And then next week we come together and present our AI generated song and find out whose band is better. AI is going to go like, who the fuck is your person? So,
I don't go near anything that's AI. I don't trust robots.
How do you do that though?
I think you have to have some of it installed.
I don't know. Man, I see people. I saw somebody say they had AI generate a blues song for them.
Well, did you hear that? So I don't know about Patrick. You might have sent it to me too, and I heard it a while back. That Rockabilly Zeppelin kind of thing that was going on.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of the guys in the Zeppelin camp think that was AI generated. So probably was. I don't know of a band like that.
Well, I mean, AI was so good that it tricked people that there was a new Drake song out for like 3 months.
Yeah.
People were believing it was a real song.
You know, I was thinking, who would you set up Jim Morrison if you wanted like a heavy 70s stoner rock, like 90s style? Like, Jim Morrison could work outside of the Doors. Like, I'm not the biggest Doors guy, but like picture him in like a Soundgarden type band or like a Monster Magnet, but like we need
Jim Morrison with Eric Wagner.
Yes, like, well, obviously they're two singers, but I could see him in a band like the Cult meets like Monster Magnet, or not straight metal, but like
I can see
70s, a little psychedelic.
I can see him with the guys from Black Sabbath doing something kind of cool.
Yeah, I was trying to think of dead guys who we would work with, like Cliff Burton would work as a bass player, but like it would be interesting to hear like if Jim Morrison had came out later and had a heavy band behind him.
I don't know. He was pretty full of himself. I don't know if he did.
Well, a lot of these guys were.
Yeah, I'm not talking personality so much, but like he has a presence. I can't. I'm not a Doors guy, but he has a presence of like a dark kind of. Could be like almost an evil lead singer.
I walked out on the floor.
Yeah, easy now. I thought the Stooges could, like the Ashton Brothers, could only play with the Ashton Brothers. They could never mix. They've done other projects. Nothing ever worked. It's like Johnny Ramone. I couldn't set him up with any other musicians besides the Ramones.
You know who hasn't been mentioned once tonight?
Janis Joplin?
Lemmy.
Lemmy's another one. I mean,
there you go.
But what do you pair him with, though?
Yeah, I don't necessarily like his bass playing outside of Motorhead. You know, unless I'm setting him up with like Al G. Ward and like another like mini Motorhead.
I don't know. I liked it. I loved his bass playing in that early Hawkwind stuff, though.
I love everything about him, but to fit him in my band, I don't know.
Yeah,
You'd end up being, you'd build around him. Like,
I
just
couldn't do it.
rebuild
came
him
to
Motorhead.
mind, but he wouldn't. I was going for more of British blues.
When you're
thing, and
building
he
a
was-
band of superstars, Lemy's not your first pick.
No, not at all.
John, I can't get behind Robbie Krieger as a guitar player. The guy, I don't think he's ever played a power chord in his life. Robbie Krieger, I could almost deal with Ray doing his keyboard things if you had a band that could play a power chord every now and then. It doesn't have to be heavy, but the noodling guitar and the keyboards together is a bad mix. And I know they had
Robbie couldn't do
rockers.
the blues. He didn't have the blues rock touch.
I feel like he was a weak
Derek
man.
did.
Robbie
Derek
Krieger. He could never just go, yeah, let's rock, like ever. He couldn't play Louie. I mean, he could technically play it, but I just can't get behind him.
Greatest song ever recorded.
Wilco Johnson, I had him considered in my band with Pete Wells from Rose Tattoo, but I went with Malcolm. But yeah, Wilco Johnson's phenomenal.
Hey Patrick, can I make a request?
Gary Floyd from the Dicks,
Sweet
Gotta be a
Tea.
dick.
E. Boone,
I
John
met-
Entwistle. Oh, that's a killer band. Loser list. That's a killer band.
Sorry, Bobby, I didn't hear you.
I still can't believe this is a
And if
B-side.
you don't have it by
Never,
Van
album.
Morrison, then the Water Boys do it.
What's the song? What's the song, Bobby?
What Sweet Thing? It's off his first album,
Okay, all right. So I didn't hear the name of the song. So
Astral Weeks. It's off of Astral Weeks.
I know I have Astral Weeks. I have many versions of Astral Weeks. So. But who's dead in that band?
Who's dead in that band?
Yeah.
Phoebe, you know my whole theory is
The whole thing is like dead people, right?
you two are just the Doors. It's the same band, just
I
for
don't
another
remember
generation.
who played in it.
It's the exact same band.
But it's like almost 60 years old, right? So
Somebody's got to be dead. We'll just assume somebody's dead in that band. How's
Yeah,
that?
well, for sure.
I'd love to have seen this live in 72, 73.
I like this kind of guitar.
This is one of my all-time favorite songs.
Okay, all right. So the bass player on this album is dead. So he died this year. Thank you for dying for us. So thank you.
You don't
It's
got
an
to be.
absolute crime. Blackmore is not considered up there with Page, Beck, and Clapton.
Yeah, he's gonna have to
You
die.
brought
For
up
us.
a conversation.
Well, like I said,
Not
this,
just
as
'cause
good
of-
as this is a B-side. This is a B-side off Machine Head, you know?
I don't know why you didn't. I just
Great vocal by Ian Gill, though. This is like awesome.
Al Jackson, that's who I was trying to remember for the MGs. I was trying to remember his first goddamn name, but I couldn't, right? He's a great drummer, right?
The entire MGs were fantastic.
By the way,
A lot of those guys are still alive, though, right?
I've seen all three of them King guys you're talking about.
I think most of them
I
are still
didn't
alive.
Yeah.
I didn't see Don King.
Don King.
Don King was the manager.
Yeah.
I like how Vance threw in the manager of Peter Scranton is fucking
favorite
nuts. They gotta get one more Led Zeppelin reference in there.
Only in
Like,
America.
Fucking
murderer.
you can have your Peter Grant, man. I want Irving Azoff. Give me Irving fucking Azoff.
Irving Azoff.
Colonel Tom Parker.
That's like, it's like Don Huntley goes, Irving Azoff's maybe Satan, but he's our Satan, So. I don't want some big burly guy. I want that little fucking dude with
Keyboard
about
chuck
5
bag.
degrees, man.
Or Miles Copeland.
There's
Copeland.
Lisa. She's got a
You
punk
wonder.
rock.
Somebody brought up the Colonel. You wonder how big Elvis actually would have been, because he was huge. Imagine how big he would have been if he was.
If you could have left the U.S. If you could have left the U.S.
Oh my God.
My drummer, my guy, Cozy Powell.
and your singer.
Yep.
I can't believe Dio dissed this song. It was great.
I couldn't believe it either. I'm like going, this is the best song. It's one of the best songs you ever did, motherfucker.
You know how it is. It's just the mood of it.
But he doesn't.
Interview. You know, you're contrarian.
And don't forget though, too, he was also promoting a lot of his solo stuff. He didn't give a shit about this at that time.
Yeah,
you know?
he was playing like big clubs and like medium halls, like fucking.
He was still singing like "Man on a Silver Mountain." No, there's no rainbow right there.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the amount of hum that fucking light that Rainbow made.
He did that with Sabbath, right? Didn't he do? I feel
show
like he did
that
Man
out
on the Silver Mountain along with Rock and Roll or something.
How
with
bad?
Sabbath.
I remember reading about how bad the hum was. You know that cover band that
Like live?
I don't think he never played any Rainbow stuff with Sabbath.
No, never.
No.
So Vance, show that
He
out
played it
from
solo.
you. Show that
That's
out
good as
from you.
solo. That's
Rainbow?
Yeah.
So-
He never played the Rainbow.
So show,
He did a lot with solo band
Hang
stuff.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the amount of hum that fucking thing generated? That fucking Rainbow thing.
Oh, you know, yeah. They said that was the big problem they had. That they had a big 60 cycle hum off of that on
Can
stage.
you imagine how fucking bad that
Oh
was?
yeah. But they said it was a big piece of their live show. But Richie Blackmore hated it. They said when they crossed back across the ocean, they dumped it into the water. Apparently, off the sea freighter. They hated it. They said it's at the bottom of the ocean somewhere.
I can't even imagine how noisy that fucking thing was.
Oh yeah.
I can't even.
There's great articles about that.
Oh man.
Didn't like parts of it like burn out and shit?
Well, yeah, because it's in like 6 sections or something like that, right?
Yeah, you can see it.
And it would have been straight light bulbs back then.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, the stupid part about that record is there's like a 10-minute section where Dio doesn't even sing. Like, still like bad.
You imagine the electric bill? You're like 50,000 watts.
But
you had to do maybe even more than that. Like,
but you know what? I love that song. I'm sad that there's like a huge keyboard solo and a huge drum solo. And
there's your Jeff Beck connection, your Yardbird.
But you give Dio like 30 seconds in that song. You got like the best singer in rock. You know, you don't give him anything to work with after that.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. That's when Rainbow was the ultimate kind of proggy band at that time. They did long solos and keyboard solos, drum solos, the 1812 Overture for Posey, you know, and all that stuff.
What are there, like 7 songs on stage?
Yeah.
Across 2 albums?
Have we done best?
Alex, that's classic. That's
have
perfect.
we done best Deep Purple songs?
8 songs.
We did?
Yeah, we did.
8 songs.
I know we did Rainbow. I couldn't remember if we did Deep Purple.
Doesn't this song take off for like 4 minutes without Dio singing?
Yeah, that's a pretty crazy one right there. Lux Interior, Lorna Doone, D.H. Pellegru.
And you got like arty guitar, and then you have like the straight out, fisticuffs rock and roll.
And then you got Lux with the fucking mic in his mouth screaming.
Might have been more interesting to hook Lux up with some of the cats from the 50s, like Lux with Jerry Lee. And not because it's cliche, but like that would have been pretty crazy.
And talk about an underrated guitar player. Ivy she wrote some amazing guitar riffs, and nobody ever talks about her.
Nope.
We don't do those kind of throwdown tours. We don't do like band versus band, so.
And especially for her to be writing those kind of riffs in 78, 79.
We could do that in about 4 seconds. It's Bark at
But
the Moon.
actually, Open Sin has the better song. Mark at the Moon's a better album, but Ultimate Sin has the better song.
I actually prefer Ultimate Sin.
The song
I can't take Ozzy with the perm.
I don't know what it is about. I like that album, Mark at the Moon. It's never been my favorite, though.
So Alex, who is dead in Chrome? Is there somebody dead in Chrome? It's like we're celebrating dead people, so you gotta have a dead person.
Bark at the Moon musically is better, but from
Ultimate Sin is a better. Ultimate Sin and fucking Lightning Strike is better than any song.
So that Rock City Angels, the singer was dead, so we snuck that in.
Yeah. Husky with a perm. Shot in the Dark is the best song.
The best thing about Ultimate Sin was they took Metallica on the road, and it changed the world for heavy metal.
That was the reason why I went.
That was
see Metallica. I mean, Ozzy was the bonus. And the night I went,
saw him again. I saw him twice on that tour. He toured Ultimate Sin twice, but a different. I can't remember who opened.
We had Metallica both times, but then the first night was with Jackie
You
got
Metallica
Hey,
sick.
Hazel's not Chrome, is he? No fucking way.
Yeah, I saw them both with Metallica and Ozzy. He came back in the summer. But that first night, Jackie Lee got sick, and Ozzy played like, it seemed
I actually
like 45
happen to have
minutes.
both.
Celia's Creed still
I
alive?
have both of them right here.
Nice.
Dire the Madman.
I saw today, $50 they wanted for a really beat up copy of Bark at the Moon. I was like, what? I had a pass.
that's
The corner of the cover was all rabbit-eared and everything.
Yeah, I'm
This
Or
thing is
dog-eared. And,
This thing is mint, and I paid $19.99 for it.
yeah, see, I do that.
And this was like a
still
month
don't have
ago.
Bark at the Moon. I still have my copy when I got it, but
I have a European copy with the blue Aussie instead of the yellow, but it doesn't sound as good as the U.S. pressing.
yeah, I need to find the Bark of the Moon one of these days. I wasn't into it when it came out. I don't know. I love Diary and Blizzard, but then Bark of the Moon, I was like, and I skipped over it, never bought it.
Yeah, that was of those three. That's my least favorite for sure. The first two are.
And then I did go buy Ultimate Sin.
Ultimate Sin though was the first Ozzy album that I owned. Though, like I knew the songs from the first two records, but that was the first one I had on cassette, and I fucking wore it out. So there's some nostalgia with that one too.
Mine was Diary. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was the song when Roger Glover came into the studio to see Richie Blackmore. It's like, so what have you been up to? And he played him this.
He goes, oh.
It's still on.
It never ends, man. It never ends.
If a prog rock guy's saying that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, but the thing is, the thing of why I don't like this so much is because there's nothing really going on except just, an orchestra part and the same part over and over. There's no soloing. There's no nothing.
It's got such a groove, such a vibe happening. It's like Kashmir from Zeppelin. It's like
No,
that doesn't impress me either.
Mix. That's the LA mix. The only LA mix you can get on
the
vinyl is the Japanese.
If you're gonna repeat that many times, you better put something in. That's the Mutt-Lang theory.
It doesn't always work. Sometimes songs are too long, but when it's going, like
that one's go.
It really it feels perfect to me, that song. And I'm not I love the 2-minute song, but
hey, a lot of times on album cuts, long album cuts, the 45 that they cut down sounds better than the damn album cut actually.
Or the soul tunes, you got to flip to side 2 for part 2. The same song. Like they just
that's like a Yes single.
Hey, sometimes part 2 is better than part 1.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
was a lot of
I think Child in Time is one of the best songs ever written, and that thing's 11 minutes long.
Yeah, you're right.
That works.
Yeah.
And you don't get bored
No.
of it.
And that's the studio version. They do some longer live versions too, and they
Ronnie
still.
Montrose wasn't on Astro Weeks. We already found a dead person on Astro Weeks, so we're good. Nobody conveniently died for us in 2023 for this, yeah. Black Nepalese. Little hash there. So this is where the production got a little bit really thick. This one and Eat It have
I did another Rush video, Murray.
Yeah, I
did
was
you?
on a humble pie kick.
I gotta ask the question of a guy in the comment section. Crap, you mentioned in an earlier comment that you were seeing Baz Van making a kind of comeback thing at some small bars in San Francisco. What years were these? If you don't mind me asking, please. And thank you. I'm a big Van Morrison fan. I've even got a signed album by him to me personally.
I did respond to your other one, Vance.
Oh, no, I think I saw that, yeah.
My kid brother stole my Jimi Hendrix Electric Ladyland and traded it to this drug dealer for Astro Week. That's how much he liked that. So I fell in love with the album too.
But I was on a humble pie kick. But I think such great band, and you read about them. They were supposedly so great live. One of Paul Stanley's like best experiences was seeing Humble Pie. Big influence them and Slim.
Oh yeah.
But like their albums, they
3
just
days.
don't have the song. They have some great songs. It's fun listening, but they're not solid records.
I think the self-titled record is fantastic. That's the only
Oh
one
man!
I
Oh,
play
I mean,
all the time.
Yeah,
but
I'm
then
not,
again,
I'm not saying the
they-
band. I absolutely love the band, but
No, I'm
it's
just
just
saying that
with-
particular
with
that
the cover-
album
with the
was the only one where I liked the whole album.
Oh well, Rock On is also a great album.
Rock
On's a
On's-
phenomenal album.
it's great, but it's not as good as like the Jeff Beck group or the Rod Stewart records or the
Oh,
like.
whoa! Like Rough and Ready, it's way better than Rough and Ready. Way better to me than Rough and Ready.
Well, no,
Jeff
Rough
Beck-
and Ready. No, I'm not talking about.
Jeff
Rough.
Beck
I'm talking
has
about,
some-
I'm
Jeff
talking
Beck has
about
some-
Truth
Jeff
and
Beck has some
Beckola.
question- Well, Jeff Beck had some questionable albums too.
No, absolutely, 100%. I'm talking about Beck, the rock record. I feel like Humble Pie, they didn't have the song. They didn't know how to write a hit or.
To me, it wasn't the songs. Like for this, it's a production. It's very
Maybe
bass
it's the
heavy.
production,
Very,
but-
very bass heavy. Very thick.
This is how I love them. Yeah, Steve Marriott, both of my bands.
See,
I've seen Humble Pie.
The self-titled band was the self-titled album was their third album. They had
I've
2
seen
albums
Humble
on
Pie
immediate-
live, and it was
Safe as-
all
Safe as
Steve
Yesterday
Marriott.
is and Town and Country.
It was all
To
Steve
me, I don't
Marriott.
like those albums that much. But
No.
like the third album that Steve's talking about, the self-titled, is great. With the
Hey,
white,
John
the
Bandy,
white
yeah.
cover with the girl, that's a 10-star album. You're vernacular. It's awesome.
I don't know if I
The
hit
song is
the
great.
Humble Pie one yet, John.
But Rock
but,
On is
I've been
is
watching
8 out
those
of
midnight
10 to
specials.
me.
Yeah, I'm way behind, but I get them all on my
And
watch.
Smokin's a great record, but the
No,
production.
I,
is like,
I love them. I
sick.
listen to all 3 of those. I listen to Smokin'. I can't remember now. What were the whatever the other ones were? Rock On and the Humble Pie self-titled.
The
But
self-titled is so
they're
good.
not the Stone.
So
Like
good.
the Stones are full of songs. Like
But they're not the Stones.
no, I understand, but I think they needed more. I don't want to say hits, more hooks or more.
They weren't. They weren't. Yeah, they definitely were not a hit band, but they had hooks. I mean, they had like musical hooks to me. You know.
Yeah, I'm not knocking the albums. I absolutely love them. I wouldn't trade them for anything. But I'm just trying to be like an outside critic. I don't think they were as good as the Small Faces as far as songs. They weren't as good as those early Rod Stewart records as far as songs, or the 2 Jeff Beck records, or the
Ed,
Stones.
I think
feel like they were
Japanese
like
thing is
jammy
like-
and it was vibe, and you had to be there.
I'll check in a
I
minute.
wonder about the later Jeff Beck records. If he just had the guys write the songs and then he would just come in and play the guitar, you know.
Yeah, he was doing his own thing. You
I
know,
wonder if he was even involved in the writing process during that era.
a lot of covers on a lot of those records.
So I think
the
Rainbow
covers
Rise
were just to
band-
fill up a record so he had stuff out there, you know what I mean?
Yeah. He just liked playing music, so he's doing.
Ooh, you're doing the album in concert. I'm gonna be checking that out. Grace Under Pressure, huh? Wow.
Yeah.
I think he
Yeah,
was
That was
one of
my
the-
first.
We all know how great of a guitar player he was.
I
but
want
he
to
was
wrap
one
up
of those guys, I
1984,
think
but
he,
before
like,
the end of the year, I got
really
2 more to do.
committed and brought together a great band. He could have put out dozens of killer albums, you know?
That way. Yeah,
That's great, man. We should do a video together once.
I know we talked about that. We should.
Yeah.
Yeah, that the live Humble Pie is great.
Yeah.
Okay, Ed, hang on. Here we go. Private
Well, and
chat.
I think of Humble Pie the same way I think of Little Feat. I think their live stuff is
There's
amazing.
a link to it right there.
Yeah,
Ed.
but that's
Okay.
I was reading because I was trying to. As I was listening to records, I was looking on the internet. Everyone said like, live they were great, but the albums didn't catch. So maybe I'm a little biased, but I always felt that way.
Hey,
I
Vance,
would
you
pick
around tomorrow night?
songs, Then they would do like a
I should be.
50s rock tune.
We should do a video where me and you compare our first watchings of Rush live.
All right. Yeah, hit me up on Messenger. We can talk about it.
Yeah, if you start like
If
taking the
not,
break,
you know,
focus
week
higher.
after or something. But
Hey,
or any other
Vance,
time.
is-
Okay.
is AC/DC
Yeah, I'll do it on
playing-
Yeah, they're
Instagram. I'll
playing-
message you.
Yeah, they're playing Memorial Weekend on the May 24th.
Okay.
So what are you
That's
smoking
Sat-
now?
that's Saturday
Bobby?
night.
Ronnie Montrose is dead.
Yeah, Ronnie Montrose is definitely dead. Yeah,
I
he's not in this
some
band.
tickets.
He's not in this band.
What's that?
I got a ticket for it.
Yeah, so did I.
He's on this record, no?
No.
They're
Not
not playing here.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
not on this
Honey.
record?
He's on Tupelo Honey.
Oh, Tupelo Honey.
Well,
Okay.
we do have a dead person in the band.
I'm not a Van Morrison guy.
Somebody gave up their life for this list.
I think I have Tupelo Honey. I have one of these.
I think
Tupelo
Tupelo
Honey-
Honey is my
Tupelo
that's
Honey's
my
on-
favorite.
Tupelo
but-
Honey-
I don't care for either. I love the Them. That first Them album is as
Yeah.
good as the Stones. But I have one. I can't remember. It's this one, a Tupelo Honey.
Hey,
No,
Vaginal, yeah. I hope
I
they do a
totally
second leg.
If they do a second leg and they come to Atlanta, I'll go to that one too.
Yeah,
But
'cause
I'm
they
not
didn't
gonna.
announce any New York City dates. They didn't announce any
No,
Toronto
it's
dates. They
tough.
didn't announce a lot of stuff.
It's really Midwest.
Yeah.
Yeah, AC/DC announced for Boston. We may go to that. We'll see.
Yeah. But there's no New York City. That's a surprise.
They're saying this is going to be their
Thank you.
last.
Oh,
tour in the
absolutely.
US.
Very much, sir.
Absolutely the last run. I can
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, I mean they are running themselves
That-
to the ground.
That is not a The Who cash grab. That is a legit last run.
And I didn't
And
go
that's-
see him last time because I didn't want to see him with what's his name on vocals. So
Axel.
Oh, actually,
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen him since the '80s, and I like Power Up. I liked it a lot, so I'm like, it coming.
That was a
around,
good album, yeah.
I'm gonna catch him.
So, John, you said Humble Pie or didn't have any hooks. This has
I
a
didn't say
musical-
no.
I know.
I'm discussing a band I
Yeah,
really
Hold on,
love.
let
I'm
me
just-
John,
John,
you said Humble Pie sucks.
let-
John.
Put it in context.
Hold
Put it
on,
in,
let me finish,
it's like
let
me
me
talking
finish.
about Uriah Heep.
All right, let me finish. Hold on. I'm saying this
I got
song.
you right. Heat
This
though.
song does not have any.
Motherfuckers blew my ears out. You're right.
Oh my God! You
Hey,
son
Patrick, you know you have a mute button on these people, right?
of Jesus. Hold on, man. So
Yeah, John.
this is
right,
not
Heat.
this is not a hook like in the typical sense of it. This has a
They
music.
actually played a song off that when I
The
saw
music
him.
is the hook.
I didn't know it. I just picked it up. It was like 20 bucks.
I
thought,
understand.
Okay.
There's some good
I
tracks
love
on
this
there.
Is
band.
there? Okay, yeah. I mean, I like them, and I figured.
Nobody
But
ever.
they're
talked
kind
about
of a
this band.
forgotten
They're
band.
Japanese.
They-
Had the
they-
whole thing.
Humble Pie are forgotten, and I think they didn't have enough good songs.
No,
They
they,
were great.
they didn't
Every
have- they didn't
second
have-
of the album is worth
they didn't.
listening
They
to.
didn't have enough good radio songs. How's
There's
that?
not. I listened to those 3 records. There was not one song I had to skip. You know, and I'll skip band. I'll even skip Stone
Well, how long
songs.
were Frampton and Marriott together at Humble Pie? How many
Only
years?
4
1, 2,
albums
3,
and the
4
live
albums?
album, maybe.
Yeah,
4
5
albums?
albums. Yeah.
That's when I seen them. 1970, I think it was, or 71. And it
You know,
was
Steve will back me up on this. This is a great
Steve
fucking album, man. This is a great record.
I
man.
love this. This is one of my
Oh
favorites.
man, this is the hook right here. This is the hook.
I'm not. Yeah, I think maybe I shouldn't have said anything.
See, Patrick gets a little too emotional sometimes.
No,
with
but
this
it's
stuff.
making me sound like I'm anti-Humble Pie, which I'm absolutely not.
I mean, these guys were so good, man. I mean, they didn't have hits, but they had fucking songs, man, that made you just feel, you know, just fucking had a groove, man. I love the vibe of this whole song, man. This whole album is fucking the vibe is great.
This is another band I got into. It's
This
very,
double
very,
record,
very late.
Is this one?
No, it's the one one
That's a
album.
single, yeah.
I think I just bought my first Humble Pie. What's that one with the? It's like a black cover with just the name of the album.
That's
What's
Smoking.
that?
Smoke.
It's Smoking.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the only one I own by them actually.
That's probably their most popular. That's the one that
Yeah.
most people get. But this record right here with it's just Humble Pie with the girl on the cover.
Yeah.
Man, this thing is amazing.
Yeah, I gotta get this one. I watched some live videos of them, and they're really good live. Like,
Oh
very
man.
The
Was
two
it
of them
Blackberry?
together, I mean, that's the best stuff they did.
yeah.
You know, they got like Zal Clemenson. I guess he was from Alex Harvey again, I think,
Yeah.
for Smoking.
Humble Pie. I know it.
But fucking Steve Marriott and Peter Frampton together,
Yeah.
and like Rockin' the Fillmore, which is another
Yeah,
one of
that's
those
the
albums.
best stuff. The stuff with both of them together is just.
You know, like Rockin' the Fillmore is like another one of those things where
I got the live album.
6 songs, 2 albums. You know, so.
The live album, I think it's one of the great live albums. I mean,
Yeah,
they're-
but, to me, Walk on Golden Splinters is like a little bit too long for me, and it's like,
Yeah, it gets into a little soul, like you had to be there kind of thing.
yeah,
With most live albums, I want to bring this show here, and I don't know, it brings the concert into the room, and that live album, I felt like, oh, I had to be there to get that.
The one that drives
What's
me
it
crazy.
stuck there, Vince?
The one that
I
drives
don't
me
know.
crazy.
Walk on
is-
Gilda's
Is it stuck?
I gotta find it.
Puts me in another world.
That's what I got. Yeah, I got that smoking.
The Live
That's
Rainbow
my-
album kind of drives me crazy.
my-
That's
No,
it right there.
that's it right there. That's the word listening to right there. That is a great album.
Yeah, I got this from
Great.
you.
Yeah.
Grease Grease. Walk on Gilded Splinters. Grease Grease.
Live album.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
great. Live at the Fillmore.
And then on this side, there's a couple collections I got. This is
The Rainbow Live is the one I always have problems with because on the first side they do that one song that's long as fuck and slow.
Yeah,
Nice.
still I'm sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that. That compiles like the early
Well,
ones.
at the Fillmore, Robert Ludwig.
That cover, holy.
And that's it.
That was after. That was like the greatest hit after.
That's when they got back together.
And the UK's all right. I mean, like Robert Ludwig cut the U.S. pressing. You should be fine with that, man. It cost you about $5.
Oh yeah.
If people
I used to see
undervalue-
it. I used to see it all the time in the Goodwill bins.
Now the UK rocking the Fillmore sounds a lot better to me, but I mean, don't worry about it. You know, just get the Robert Ludwig, you'll be fine.
Shelves are getting tight, Mark.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it looks like you're like trying to like yank it out of there.
Yeah.
Looks like shit's leaning too, man.
Where? Oh, that thing's probably off.
We don't want to witness an LP crap.
No, fuck.
We've seen that a few times.
We're gonna have like a stunty moment here, but yeah.
No, it's probably my laptop's on a box here.
So who played keyboards?
It could be
John Paul
Steve
Jones.
Marriott.
John Paul Jones.
Steve Marriott was playing keyboards a bit.
Rick Wakefield.
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 He's
Wakeman.
not dead, Bobby. He's not dead. Jason Becker's not dead either. Hold on a
Rick
second. Jason
Wakefield
Becker's
might
not
be dead. I don't know.
He might be brain dead, but Jason Becker is not dead. Okay,
No,
he's not dead yet.
he's alive
Yes,
and composing music still.
with his eyes.
I think he was. Mark was he with us in 1970?
Who? Wakeman?
Yeah.
Wakefield.
No, that was Tony K.
He's still alive, right?
One with Wakeman with ya.
Wakeman
No,
came
Tony
in
K's dead.
in 71.
Tony K died.
Then that was the Beggar's Banquet concerts. I seen him with the yes. The crowd didn't get the crowd though. Eh?
Yeah.
This would have been David Clemson.
I didn't know the name Wakeman, right? But if
That's
71
Clemson. That's the
Oh,
guitar
It was,
yeah,
player,
it
right?
was Tony K then. When they came to America the
No,
first time, it was
says-
Tony K on
says he
keyboards.
plays keyboards too. Him and Steve
Oh, okay,
Marriott both play keyboards.
Oh, okay. So they
So
had.
isn't
It was
Dave
Clemson.
Isn't the guy from fucking Alex Harvey?
That's the only two keyboardists.
There
I
was
know
another
from the
Clemson
70s.
was the guitar player who replaced Frampton.
Yeah, the guy from
Clemson.
Alex Harvey, right?
No, he played guitar too. It does. He played
But
keyboards too, though.
It might be a different Clemson. It was Clem something Clemson. I forget what his real name
Yeah,
was.
that's the guy who played guitar on Smokin'.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the second guitar player, but this is before he would have joined as a guitar player, so maybe he was the keyboard.
Yeah, it just says he plays guitar and keyboard, but it also says Marriott too. So who knows?
a lot of
I didn't know. I thought he, for some reason, I always just assumed he joined after Frampton left. But
No, he joined in '71.
okay,
Geddy
Oh yeah,
Lee
he did. No,
plays
yeah, he
keyboard.
did. You're right. You're right.
Geddy Lee plays keyboard.
Yeah,
I
this
don't-
is-
Where do you see Clem Clemson playing keyboards on this album?
no, he didn't say Clemson. He said a different name. So it
no,
could
I
be a
said,
different
but
guy.
I got the album wrong. He came in
Okay.
7. He played keyboards in '71. This is '70.
Yeah, so
So after Frampton left, so it was Steve Marriott playing keyboards.
So
Yeah,
Clemson
I knew
wasn't-
Steve Marriott
wasn't
played
Alex
keyboard,
Harvey,
but I
right?
don't know if what he played on or how much.
No, Clemson. He was in Coliseum. That's it. He was in Coliseum with Jack Ruth.
There you go. Max got a classic. That's a classic band right there.
Yeah,
What?
Jack Bruce.
Jimi Hendrix,
Lord.
John Lord, John Bonham, Jack Bruce, and Jim Morrison and Janice doing.
They would be so fucking
Duet.
wasted that neither of them would be able to sing.
They're singing Jackson all drunk.
Yeah, they're all
I'm going to Jackson. And
Both of them
Hendrix,
just like in the fucking fifth of Jack.
Hendrix,
Morrison under the table any day of the week.
Janice might drop to her knees.
He was a real poser,
At
Janice.
least Janice would have sponsorship money, though. So, yeah.
Janice,
My favorite story about Janice
Morrison would whip it out. Janice would try to feel okay.
I could totally see like Hendrix, Bonham, and John Lord just like comping behind them, like keeping the rhythm. Like, where are we going here?
Yeah.
When Janis Joplin toured Britain for the very first time, there was a big, sweet, big party room where all the rockers had gathered to, say hi and all of that shit. And Janis was all drunk, and Ronnie Wood was there. And later on in the evening, she's pointing at Ronnie, going, I'm fucking you tonight. I'm fucking you tonight." Ronnie Wood. And Ronnie says, I snuck out a little bit later on. He was scared shitless of Janis.
I thought about Dr. John, Charlie. Dr. John.
On keyboards.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that album, Chris Walk on Gilded Splinters, I love that too, man. There used to be a video when it come out. I have searched all over the place for it, but I could never find it. And it was all him dressed like a voodoo guy, and it was with smoke and bones and African people, and it only come out, and it was there in the late '60s. But then all of a sudden, the damn thing disappeared. I've searched all over the internet and YouTube. I could never find it, but I fell in love with the thing, right?
Not one person mentioned Mark Bolan tonight.
Somebody did in the comments.
Oh, did they? Okay,
Yeah.
I can't picture how I'd fit him outside of T-Rex. I mean, I guess with Bowie and Ronson or something, but...
Didn't he play guitar too?
Oh, yeah. And he wrote on guitar.
Somebody mentioned Tommy Bolan too.
All right, guys, I'm gonna head off. I'll talk to you guys later.
Later, Mark.
Great, Mark. Great hanging out with your brother.
You too. And I'll message you, Vance. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Take care.
John, I sent Patrick that 100% proof. He should have it tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
Which one did you have?
That debut.
Is it yellow or was it
No,
black?
that's the second album.
Okay.
The first album it just says 100% proof and has
That's
the
the
band.
one with the tribute to Bon Scott or something about Bon
Yeah,
Scott
yeah,
on it.
yeah.
Yeah. That's fun.
It's a great record.
All right, so I was wrong. So the guy from Alex Harvey is Zal Clemenson, not Clem Clemenson. So I was totally fucking confused. So.
No, I was off anyway. He came in after.
Yeah, he was replacement.
Yeah, he was a replacement.
But he's a
wrong.
hot guitar player on that Smoking record. He's hot. And Jerry Shirley is no slouch either.
Yeah, he was in Fastway.
Yeah, and he played with Sid Barrett, believe it or not.
Yeah, nobody mentioned Freddie Mercury or Randy Rhoads. That was kind of interesting.
No, Freddie Mercury was Trekker.
No, but
Freddie was
nobody.
mentioned a couple
It's
times.
about our list.
Oh yeah,
nobody mentioned it in our list.
Yeah,
not
he's
at
the
all.
second best singer of Queen.
I think, listen, I like Randy Rhoads, but he was perfect for those albums and for that moment. But when you listen to the stuff, the Quiet Riot stuff wasn't as good. Some of the other stuff he did was on the side wasn't as good. It was
He's
like
great,
perfect for
Nazi.
what
He would have worked in another metal band, like.
The first Quiet Riot was okay, I thought, but the second one was pretty lame. I might
I
have
like
those.
both of them, but I like them for what they are. You know what I mean?
Those Japanese albums?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not very good. They're not.
I never heard them. I still never heard them.
I actually have the Greek reissues.
Yeah, that's what I have.
I saw the original in New York, and it wasn't priced, and the guy wouldn't sell it to me because he couldn't get in touch with the owner.
Nobody mentioned Bon Scott. Not one person.
Right.
I considered him in my band, my rock band, but it was too many I had Malcolm Young and Pete Wells. Too many Australians.
He's
And
another
I just-
one though.
I love
Like,
Steve Marriott. Like
I
just
can't
love
picture
Steve
him doing anything else but AC/DC. You know, he's
He's
got
not
that.
exactly the world's best singer, you know. So
No, but he's
No,
like
but
a
if you're
Paul
like a-
Diano.
if you-
Like he works.
Like I can see,
If you're
I
a
can see
gritty,
the
if
brothers.
you're looking for a gritty rock band, yeah.
I can see the brothers doing all kind of other stuff. But
all right,
Vaughn, I
dude,
can only
man.
see
So you came
singing
in
with
last. You
AC/DC.
came in Friday night with the same statement. Like
Pop called the Valentine.
Pizza for me. Hey, listen, guys, I'm going to take off.
Cheers,
All right.
Bobby.
All
Good
right,
hanging
Bobby.
out with
Take
you.
off,
Great,
Hunter.
great
Yeah,
sneaker
Bobby.
band.
Take
Later,
off,
Bob.
eh?
BG5.
All right, thank we got rid of the Canadians. Thank God.
Now he's gonna come back up. You just jinxed yourself.
Hey, you know.
Listening in the background.
Yeah, Bon Scott's kind of like a one-trick pony, you know.
Greatest album of the '90s, right here.
Yeah, it's sitting
Patrick,
on
I don't
the
know, he
shelf
could-
waiting for you there, Steve. So yeah,
I know. I sent you a box.
I know.
I told you. Just tell me what I owe you for those three.
I got that. I got the Violent Femmes. I think the AC/DC. I think that's it. They're in a little stack.
Yeah.
I have to go look at them. This is another one of those songs where you just kind of like think, you know, how poignant it is, man. This guy's singing this shit, you
This
know.
band though is
You know,
guitar playing. They have it. It's like Alice in Chains with like this '70s feel to it on guitar and stuff. It's so good.
but I mean, the line "My pain is self-chosen" that
Oh,
fucking says it all right there. That's everything you need to know right there, man. I did it to myself.
That's what you know. The reason I liked him so much, him more than any other singer ever. Like when he was singing these depressing songs, you could tell it was like real shit. You know
He's
what I
living
mean?
it, man. He's fucking
Like,
living it, man.
Yeah, I mean, he was so deep into addiction by the time this came out. Him and
This is after rehab. This is after
Yeah.
fucking rehab. He's supposed to
Yeah.
be better.
no, he was if you watch the live video of Mad Season live, he was fucking wasted.
Yeah.
Actually, just look at Alice in Chains Unplugged. That's one of my all-time favorite live albums, live shows.
But
And
this is
man,
right after rehab. They're supposed to be so much better. Him, the guy from Screaming Trees and shit, we're supposed to be
Yeah, and
like,
they
fucking-
both died from
Yeah.
heroin. Actually, three people off this album are dead now because the singer from Screaming Trees just died too last year. What's his
Yeah.
name?
Lanigan?
Yeah, Lanigan died last year.
Dan Lanigan, is that his name?
No, Mark
Steve,
Right.
What?
how about completely left field? How about a guitar duo of Dick Dale and Kerry King?
Ooh.
Kerry King's alive.
No, I meant sorry, Jeff Hanneman. Jeff Hanneman. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't mean.
well, Jeff Hanneman wrote most of the riffs anyway, from what I understand.
I'm just saying Jeff Hanneman and Dick Dale. Like we'd have to come up with a rhythm section, but
Talk about a guy that got looked over, man. Jeff Hanneman. Everybody knows who Kerry King is, but unless you're a Slayer fan, you don't know who Jeff Hanneman is. And he wrote a lot of that stuff.
Yes, he did.
Well, yeah, and he's the one that got her hooked on. Well, no, she got him hooked on the drugs, didn't she? I can't remember. But yeah, they were like the worst couple. They were both heavy into heroin and just spiraled into each other.
Well, if I wanted to, I could play a Firehouse song. 'Cause that guy's dead. So, yeah.
I'm surprised you haven't played. Oh, god damn it! What's the name of the song or the band?
Play a Slayer song.
Yeah, Hanneman's dead.
Chemical Warfare.
Nobody brought up Cobain
we haven't heard a Cramp
or
song.
Lane.
either.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of people who have died that we haven't listened to.
Yeah, I mean, it depended on the type of band you wanted. Yeah,
I haven't
Most
listened
people-
to- I haven't- I
most
haven't done any
people are
Tommy-
dead.
haven't done any Tommy Bolin. Haven't done any fucking like a Rat. You know.
yeah, if I was kind of going for that 80s
Def Leppard.
sound, that 80s, hard rock,
That's
metal
one of
sound.
So Rat and Def Leppard don't count as
That
80s
era,
hard rock?
yeah. That hair, I hate that term, hair band, but that era.
How
Yeah, I
about
don't-
Badlands? How about Badlands? Ray Gillen.
That's who I was thinking of. That's what I was trying to think. I'm surprised you haven't played Badlands yet.
Well, I'll rectify that.
That's who I was just thinking about.
You set him up with like a rootsy band, Ray Gillen.
Well, Badlands was a rootsy band.
What you should do is you
No,
could do-
absolutely was.
You should have played what the fuck is his name? Chris Cornell singing this song. You would have had multiple levels of.
Like Temple of the Dog.
No, he did a cover of this song, River to
I've
Sea.
never heard his cover of that, but
Yeah. There's some videos going around of him doing a couple of Mad Season songs.
I'm allowed to
Doc
play
Watson's
Badlands.
more of like a soul. I think of Doc Watson more like Merle Travis, mostly a solo cat. But
My favorite Merle Travis is the stuff he did with what's the other guy's name?
Earl Haggard.
No,
Les Paul. I'm trying to think who he did duets with.
it's not Les Paul, but it's kind of like Les. Same.
Chet Atkins.
Thank you. There we go. The Chet
Chet
Atkins.
Atkins,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a great record.
The best Merle Travis stuff is his instrumental stuff.
Yeah.
They always like his 50s instrumental or even late 40s, but like he was more known for the songs he wrote. Like
Particularly, my favorite Aussie guitar player, even better than Randy Rhoads. My favorite, personally, just my personal favorite. So I prefer him to Randy Rhoads or anybody else.
I prefer him and Zach to Randy Rhoads, just straight up guitar playing.
yeah, Jakey Lee, I love that guy. He's my favorite Ozzy.
Yeah. I think as time goes by, he's actually more and more people's favorite Aussie guitar player. I mean, people that aren't married to those two records with Randy or didn't grow up with them.
Randy dying at like our adolescence was a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, I know,
Well, he-
but I mean, the people that don't have
Yeah.
that connection.
Oh, 100%. I agree with
Yeah.
you, Patrick.
He was
Yeah,
really the first guy at that level to the metalheads that died.
Yeah. It was him and then Cliff Burton.
Yeah, Cliff
Yeah.
Burton. But this album was so bluesy for the time. After going from Ozzy, it was so different, and it just resonated, with a lot of people that I was with.
Have you
This
ever
guy's
heard
voice?
You ever heard Red Sea with
Yeah,
Jason
I've got.
from this band?
Yeah, I have like a CD of it, and it sounds horrible because
If it wasn't for MTV, like metal could have went a different direction.
Yeah,
I re-released
had this
that Red
kind of
Sea.
Cinderella pushing.
I think
Even
Bobby
that Rock
Rondinelli
City
loved that
Angels,
Red Sea album. to
You
be
had a
honest with
whole.
you.
It's
You
a
had a
fan,
whole-
it reminds me of Badlands though. That's what made me bring it up. It's really bluesy, and like I said, it's got Greg Chasen in it.
It all got pretty, John. It
But
was
you
an
had
image.
this whole
It was an image.
roots thing happening. Like there was the Circus of Power. There was this like rootsy thing that was happening naturally to some of the heavy metal that wasn't
Cinderella.
black metal. Yes, Cinderella, and even Guns N' Roses. You could throw. Obviously, they made it, but like there was a push to that. Even L.A. Guns were heading that direction.
Yeah.
Not quite. There was still that L.A. sleaze, but there was a push. If they weren't like aiming for what the market was.
Were you talking about Red Sun or Red Sea?
No, Red Sea, a band called Red Sea.
Okay.
And then
'Cause there's
Black
a
Crowes
band
came
called
out like
Sun, Red
3 years
Sun that
later.
Ray
and
Gillen
it-
was in. That's what I was talking about.
No, Red Sea. It's Greg Chasen from Badlands on bass. It's a very Badlands sounding band. I'll send it to you. I have it.
So
on
Red Sun is like Bobby Rondinelli and Ray Gillen, and Joey Belladonna writes songs on it. So yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
So Red Sea also has Jeff Martin from.
From Mr. Big.
No, he was also in.
Eric Martin. Sorry.
He was also in Badlands.
Bass player?
No, he was a drummer.
I thought it was
I
Eric.
thought that was
Carr, no? Eric Singer, right?
Eric Singer was the drummer, right?
Oh, let me look when he was in the band too. He's still listed. Maybe he's the one that replaced Eric Singer afterwards.
Yeah, Eric Singer was on drums here.
Okay. But Greg Chasen was on bass for this one.
Yeah. So Paul O'Neill produced this. I didn't know that. Interesting.
But that band Red Sea it's Jeff Martin and Greg Chasen.
Yeah.
Do you see this record out there at all?
Which one?
This Badlands? Do you ever see
Yeah,
that?
I've seen it. The record shows the European copies. You can
I've
get a
seen bootlegs.
European pressing for like $40, $50.
Yeah, but they're bootlegs.
No, you can there's
original.
you can get original European presses. It's the American presses that are like $150.
Are you talking about like the German original Badlands press? I mean, the Germans are fine. You know, the original, but they're still $100 now.
I just got one not too long ago. I paid like $50 for it.
Nice. Yeah, I've only ever seen one in the wild, and it was $150. I'm like,
Yeah, I bought this pretty much. I
But
saw
I
them
bought
in
it.
80, I saw them in
it
'89.
I bought it from the UK before the prices went crazy for shipping.
oh, okay.
So right now, it's about a $70 record.
I have it on cassette.
The second one I've never seen on vinyl before.
I had that one on vinyl. Voodoo Highway?
I think that's Germany only.
Yeah.
John, Chet Atkins is the guy who makes you want to throw away the guitar.
And it's not even man, he does that one with his brother, where his brother's singing, and it's like I don't even know how to describe it. It's not. It doesn't sound like Chet Atkins, but it's so fucking good.
Oh my god!
It's almost like a. What the fuck is his name? Old Blue Eyes.
Frank Sinatra?
It's almost like a Frank Sinatra album with Chet Atkins playing guitar, and it's fucking amazing.
He's insane. He could play two different melodies going by finger picking chords. Like, it's insane.
Anytime I see a Chet Atkins in good condition, it doesn't matter what it is, I buy it.
I have a whole bunch of Chet, but I really don't listen to them much.
No, I don't either, but I'll get.
I have to admit, I pass over every Chet Atkins album I ever see.
I have the CD box set. What's it say? The RCA years.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, it's got some good ones on there, but some of those, some of the tracks he does are amazing.
Well, and I say that, I don't see a lot of Chet Atkins in really good condition. Usually when I see them, they're beat all to shit,
God, Vance, you're so predictable. You're like a fucking. You're like
What?
just a.
What? What's wrong? We're playing the song, and you gotta play it.
God, it's like there's other bands. I know you listen to other shit. I know
do.
you do.
I listen to a lot of
you
stuff.
do.
It's a shtick.
I know.
When I first heard this, man, this is the shit that made me want to play drums. I had never heard anything like this on drums before.
This is a massive band, man. Massive for me.
Yeah, they wanted $200 for Season of Abyss. That record.
That's one of my 10
A
favorite
sealed copy.
albums of all
It
time.
was a sealed copy. Yeah.
That album is so fucking good. That's my favorite
$200
player.
seems
Season
high.
of the Abyss.
It is high, and it was like, how do you know it's not work?
You
You
don't.
can
feel,
tell.
you know?
You can look at.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, I mean, you can see if it's bent, but still, I mean,
Yeah,
I've
but
had
it's-
records where it's done that. Sometimes.
Not just that, I've had brand new records from the '80s come out of the drink and sound like shit.
Yeah.
They just weren't good presses.
The Metal Blade reissues of these Slayers are pretty damn good. Pressed in Palace in Europe.
So this was a U.S. pressing. This is like actually a U.S. first press, and this one I never ever see. I can't believe I bought this for what I bought it for, but this.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
I've never seen it on. I've got the CD, but I've never seen the vinyl.
I've never
before.
seen
It's not that great. This album is way better, but
I like
this one's
both of
rare.
them, but yeah.
Right, it's not bad, but it's not this. I mean, this is the shit right here, man. That is the one. But that Voodoo Highway, I've never seen that one ever. And the way I got it, there was like a website that had like the vinyl club or whatever, and people would sell their records. And this guy in Canada had a few albums like that. Was selling them for like $10 a piece, and I bought like 10 of them. He said, "Yeah, send them to me," because nobody was listening to like fucking like Voodoo Highway. Yeah.
But I had seen Ray Gillen with Sabbath, so I knew him already. Like that's the guy who sang with Sabbath, and I don't even know how good Sabbath was, but I thought it was amazing.
Great,
I was
great,
15, yeah, and he did the Dio stuff fantastic. But I was so young, I couldn't really be a impartial juror, on how good it was. But I loved it. So then when that came out, I was a big fan.
So did they get bought out by Metal Blade, by Def Jam? Is that what happened, or
No.
Slayer?
yeah?
No, they just he bought Brian Slagle bought the rights.
What are you talking about?
Slayer?
Why not? Well, because they transitioned from Metal Blade to Def Jam, right?
Def Jam. Yeah.
Yeah, Def Jam was a bigger label.
Yeah. So did they buy them out? Did they buy out?
Yeah, I'm sure they bought Slayer's contract. Yeah, Def Jam.
Now
And
they're
it was
back.
probably
with
pretty
Metal
cheap. It's probably in the book. I don't remember.
No, he talked about it when they were. He said they were when we did the interview with him. He said they were just getting too big that he couldn't support them anymore. It was basically him and his wife that were doing everything,
Yeah.
And he was
You don't
saying,
realize you have to pay for those records to be pressed before you get your money back.
and not
every
just that, he
store.
said that he made deals. Like he said, Motley Crue had originally signed with him, but then he made a deal. He helped him get the deal with Elektra. So the original, the first Metal Massacre was supposed to have Motley Crue on it, and they had already done the master, the test pressings. And when they signed with Elektra, he got a kickback, but he wasn't allowed to record that single, so he had to recut it before it was ever released.
And he did. Was it Rat? And then they had the
Rat too.
Rat, and he lost Rat after they signed.
Yep.
Well, the same thing happened in Megaforce, right? With Metallica, So they had the same thing go on with them.
And they re-recorded a version for that, but they were allowed to stay on there.
I think Megaforce and Metallica, because they weren't those records on both labels for a little bit.
Well, that was part of the deal, though. When they
Yeah,
got
I think they kind of.
Electra,
It was more of a smooth transaction, I think.
But it was the same thing. Like a
Megaforce is on the
mom
back of the
operation, they
Electra
couldn't
album.
handle it,
Yeah.
Well, and
logo.
Brian Slagle said, I mean, that's the part of the reason that his label got bigger was because guys like Slayer would sign with him, and he still owned a percentage of Slayer, so they had to buy him out when they moved to Def Jam. So he got money from that to help them expand the label.
And then when he started getting a lot of the bands, like some of the East Coast bands too, on
like
that.
Coleman.
Yep. Fates
Yeah, it might have
Warning.
been Deaf American that Slayer were on,
Yeah,
and
Deaf
then it
American,
turned
that's
into
it, yeah, Deaf
American.
American.
Yeah.
when
Yeah,
I
it's
say
still Def Jam. Def Jam.
Yeah, I know. I'm just reading John's comment.
Yeah.
Who requested this? Gee, who knows? Another Brit that can't hold
Coda.
his
This is a
alcohol right
Coda
here,
song.
Can't hold his fucking liquor, man.
I really thought about him too.
I never thought about it. I literally did not. Wow, this is like the latest entry into a live stream ever.
Oh, dude.
All right, time to go, guys.
Yeah,
Hey, good to see you, Nick. Cheers.
Nick just walked up to the bar. Can I get a beer? I said, dude, last call was half hour ago.
No, sorry, not serving anymore. What?
Daryl, if I said I don't know if I said Metal Blade, I meant Megaforce. Sorry.
Well,
Yeah, Metal Blade was just
hello
the
everyone.
one
Hello
song
Ed,
on the Metal
Patrick,
Massacre. for one. Hey, Nick.
Vance. Hey.
What's up, Nick?
Oh,
I'm a
how
couple
is
Guinnesses
everyone?
in
Hey,
to
John.
get things right.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Nick.
Yeah,
How
but
is everyone?
Metallica was a different one.
Hey,
Metallica.
so look, 3 hours after the stream started. Awesome.
Yo, dude, I got home, fell
Talk about
asleep,
passionately late.
and was just talking to George on the phone and saw that. Oh, you're still live. I'm gonna hop on there. And
So you're literally like
I know.
you literally forsake me for George.
How's
Gordon's phone
George's
call.
new gig going?
How is
Oh,
George?
it's
Anyway.
awesome, dude. He's in a good place. He's happy. His new place is fucking beautiful, and
We saw his place. He's been
the
up.
scenery of like around him, like the Hollywood Hills are like you can see them from his back, like from where the pool is. He lives in a place with a pool.
I saw girls around the pool. That's what I was looking at.
He showed it. He came on and showed it one night, didn't he?
Yeah.
He showed his
Yeah,
video.
it
Okay,
wasn't
yeah,
in
I
a
thought so.
basement. You know, it was
Yeah,
like a
very
nice.
nice.
Yeah, no, it was
Yeah,
like a
no,
nice
yeah,
place.
no. It's all lit up. He's got like, big. It's a nice apartment. From what I've seen, it's just
So if you're wondering why
beautiful.
we're playing this, Nick, it's because Vance requested it because he has
So,
no
Nick-
other fucking
Yeah.
As
That's
quick as you can, you have to come up with your super group of dead people.
Dead musicians.
So you have a drummer, a guitar player, a bass player, and a flex musician, whether it be a keyboard player, sax player,
Five
percussion
guys.
player,
Four or five guys.
4 or 5
Okay,
guys.
whoa. John, you got to put an asterisk on that one. So,
Why?
let's see.
It's pretty
We
easy.
had a lot of different variety.
Super group of dead guys.
Yeah,
Each instrument.
yeah.
I mean, we had virtually no
Fuck, I
overlap.
only have like 2 minutes to figure this out because the show's gonna be.
Yeah, but we're not grading. No one cares.
I-
There's no like.
Is anybody from Bad Brains dead?
No.
I didn't
You
think
know,
so.
I'd have to say
How about Mighty Mighty Boss Tones?
Prince
Are they
Buster?
all alive?
Yeah.
they're all live. Yeah, I Prince
Yeah, the
Buster-
The one guy that just
Buster.
dances in the front. The Mighty Boys Tones guy that just dances. He's still
Okay,
alive.
wait a minute. Whoa.
Yeah.
wait a
Ben
minute.
Carr.
Wait
Yeah.
a minute,
I
wait a minute,
spoke to him a little bit
What's his
ago.
name?
You
Earl
fucked
Hurst.
him?
The guy Hurst from the Black Crows is dead. You can go Black Crows.
Oh yeah, Ed
Hurst
he
is
was the
dead.
keyboard player.
Yeah, Ed Hurst is dead.
Was it Bobby Stinson?
No, all the guys, everybody from the Pixies are still alive
Yeah,
too.
Yeah, I know. What?
Who else?
All right, let's go through the rhythm section first. Drums,
Okay,
bass,
drums
guitar.
and bass. Who you got?
All right, drums. See, I automatically go to the obvious of like Moon.
They got to be
and
dead. They
Bond.
got to be dead.
Yeah.
They got to
And-
be dead.
We all
but
did.
I
you
feel
know.
like I'm missing someone that I would say, oh fuck, what the fuck? was
You're
it?"
not getting graded.
You're not
Nick.
getting
It's
graded.
okay.
We
I
don't care.
know. I'm grading myself.
I know. I got you.
Damn.
Actually,
what?
surprisingly, nobody chose Keith Moon. I was surprised by that.
Because he's a tough guy to fit in a band.
Yeah.
We wouldn't get along. We would not get along.
And his style
He's-
of drumming.
he's
is-
Yeah, but I chose Ginger Baker. Nobody's going to get along with him
Well,
either.
Ginger Baker's going to
No,
stab
I mean
everybody.
his style doesn't even work with a lot
Yeah,
of people.
no, I know.
Oh, you know, I could add Entwistle to it too because
Yeah.
they played together for years, so they
He's a
know how to
cokehead. He's
get
a
it.
bad
We're not
together.
rebuilding old bands. Pick different members of different bands.
Quit trying to cheat.
Maybe you should play
to
Rebuild
piece
the
together
Band.
with
next
Leonard
week.
Skinner.
And don't pull a Bobby and list a bunch of living people.
No,
Hey, can you play Patrick? How long are you on songs? Can you play the Sika by the Who? Unless you got
Apparently,
like,
I'm going to be here for a while because Nick can't even spit out one person.
just say Hendrix, goddammit. Like it's easy.
what did you guys pick? Or is that? Oh
okay,
no,
all right.
no,
So
no,
here we
No,
go.
no,
All right.
it's listed, but it's all like we all got
So,
different
so
things.
here are the people that got listed. I'll tell you:
Yeah,
Dwayne
okay.
Allman, Phil Lynott, Rory Gallagher, Ginger Baker, Malcolm Young, Steve Marriott, Pete Wells, Pete Wade, Jerry Nolan, Chris Oliva, Rhett Forrester, Mark Rial, Cliff Burton, Cozy Powell, Charlie Watts, Felix Paparaldi, Jimi Hendrix, Jack Bruce, Roy Buchanan, George Duke, Gory Kirchen, Rick Ronson, Chris Squire, Neil Peart, Ronnie James Dio, Eddie Van Halen, Gary Moore, Jackal Pastorius, Cozy Powell again, and Jeff Beck, Chris Squire, John Bonham. All the above. Just to say that.
Too much information.
You asked. I told you.
Yeah, I know. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna have to also go with
Now you're being graded because I'm putting your name up here. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wait,
Drummer first.
What was
drummer first?
I'd have to say Ginger Baker, dude. He especially after seeing Beware of Mr. Baker.
So you want him in your band after seeing that?
So.
Really? You want him after seeing that? That's when you want him? The guy who wanted to kill everybody? Okay.
He could show up to practice, but we're not going to his house.
No, no. He's only sending the stems when we record. There's no.
Yeah, you're gonna keep him in the booth.
Okay, bass player.
Oh, fucking A, dude.
Entwistle.
I want to say Entwistle because he really.
This is his list, John, not yours.
I know, but he just works so
Hey,
good.
George.
I already said
Not
Entwistle.
projecting.
Damn. I wish I had a.
Look at these people. Look at these like canvassing for their favorites. Like fucking Ed's holding up a fucking Metallica album, Master of Puppets.
Yeah. Okay, so he won. Who said Cliff Burton? Did any of
Nobody
you?
said it. He inferred it.
Yeah, he implied it pretty good, Ed. That was...
Ed, you had Burton, right? Yeah.
See, Ed has subtlety. Vance just says, "Fuck it, I'm gonna play fucking Bonzo." It's like, yeah, see, Ed's subtle.
Well, we know what Vance was picking.
I thought
you know what? I will go with Entwistle because I saw him 2 times before he died, and fuck,
George, is that actually George Borden or retired? Is it a troll? So.
Oh no, it's him. It's him.
You want to come up, George? You want to hang out? You want to give your list?
Yeah, come on, Georgie.
He does. He did put it up. If you want to go,
yeah, he did a couple guys up there.
Power trio.
Oh yeah.
Well, he can like come up and like do. He can like do it with us, you know.
All
right.
I was talking to him, and he said I'm going to bed, and then I saw you were on. I was like, oh, okay, I'll say.
Well, apparently he's not going to bed. He's like starting to put a list up. So yeah. So he's gonna say, Sid, we didn't have a songwriter category, so you're like John.
No, but I did have that psychedelic band, which would be the worst ever. Was Brian Jones, Rocky Erickson from the 13th.
Oh no, we're not gonna listen to this shit. No, you can't do this.
All the acid heads, just like all the nuts, throw them together.
Third band John's fucking done.
No. This is my
creating a dead festival.
Third band you put up. Third band you just fucking spouted out.
I was gonna say, who's gonna headline?
This is my psych band. This is my fucking 70s band.
They wouldn't get out of the practice space. They'd be like staring at walls.
Yeah.
Who's your guitar player, Nick? Okay.
And that's what I'm thinking about. The obvious is Hendrix, but I feel like to me there's probably someone else. Like,
well, you know what? People chose Jeff Beck, Steve Marriott, Gary
I
Moore.
might have to say Joe Walsh.
Well, that'd be a good pick. Mark Real's not getting picked, Ed. You're the only one picking.
No, that was Chris Oliva.
Okay, yeah. Well, Joe Walsh is a good pick.
I'm going to go with Joe Walsh because of the song that he wrote on what's the Life's Been Good or what is that the name of the
Hotel California?
Dude,
yeah.
That is one of the best.
Oh, wait. Joe Walsh isn't dead.
I know that sound.
Joe Walsh isn't dead.
I'm letting it go.
Joe Walsh isn't dead.
Joe Walsh is alive.
Nick, don't feel bad because Bobby picked Mick Jagger. Bobby Gass was up here. Every 3 minutes he'd forget and he'd start picking alive people.
It's like Rick Wakeman was dead, so yeah.
So we're doing dead people. Mick Jagger.
And I'll start repeating myself a lot. So what?
That would be a great one too.
Yeah.
God, for guitar.
You're a guitar player, dude. Fuck.
I know. That's why it's so hard because I have a
Just say Jeff Beck and move on.
You get 2 of them. You get 2 of them if you don't want a keyboard player. You get 2 of them.
Oh, all right. I'll go with Ed because Ed he played with some like before he was the Crows. He was playing with
you're talking about Ed Hurst,
legendary funk and I can't remember. It's like he may as
So
well.
hold on.
played-
You're thinking Ed Hirsch is your keyboard player, flex musician. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ed
I'm gonna
Hirsch is your keyboard flex musician. Okay,
Yeah.
mine was Gary Moore. So yeah.
Oh, that's a good choice. That's a good one.
So
Mine
was actually Eddie Van Halen, sorry.
What did you pick for guitar?
So I chose Eddie Van Halen as my flex musician and Gary Moore as my guitar player. Vance chose Gary Moore as his flex, Steve Marriott as his guitar player. As a singer, and Jeff Beck as his guitar player.
Yeah.
Hold on. Mark had Mick Ronson as his guitar player, and Bobby G had Jimi Hendrix as his guitar player, with Roy Buchanan as his secondary guitar player. Ed had Chris Oliva and Mark Reale as his guitar players, and John had Malcolm Young and Steve Marriott as his guitar players.
No, Pete Wells.
With Pete Wells. Sorry.
Tattoo.
Pete Wells, Steve, and Malcolm Young as his guitar player, Steve Marriott as his singer.
Oh, it's good, Malcolm Young. Okay.
So Steve had Dwayne Allman and Rory Gallagher as his guitar players. So.
Yep. Pete Way was my bass player, Oakenshield.
I'm pretty sure I sent. Who's the guitar player you just said last?
Rory Gallagher.
Roy Gallagher, Dwayne Allman.
I love Rory's playing, and damn, give me a sec. Did we stop streaming?
No, we're live, dude. I mean, it's like we're not stopping.
We're
it's
still
like
in front of people.
We're,
How many people am I making an ass of myself in
There's
front of?
102 people going,
150?
God, fucking Nick Panessy can't even make a stupid choice on a fucking damn.
It was supposed to be just like a goof. Just go quick.
Yeah.
I didn't mean.
Okay,
because it took me. Nick, it took me days to come up with my band. Seriously,
You know what?
I was just
George
expecting
Morton,
you.
George,
I was just expecting you to do like, Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Bonham, like just go quick. I was if serious, I would give you like 30 hours.
hang
to
on a
come up
second,
with a
right?
real band.
Obviously, I'm serious about
George
this.
Morton,
you
George
know,
Morton
like-
is as bad as John. George Morton has a Lee Morgan Hendrix band. So that's fucking worse than fucking John. John goes, I got 3 bands. I got like a fucking
No, I had
rock
2.
band.
But my George, listen to this band.
No.
What I think is the best band was Steve Marriott on vocals, Jeff Beck on guitar, John Lord on keyboards, John Entwistle on bass, and Mitch Mitchell on drums. That's
Mitch Mitchell
band.
Oh,
that's not what I picked. I picked a second tier rock and roll band, but
yeah, but Mitch Mitchell, dude, he was.
Oh man, and
insane.
all those guys have dynamics. Like
Right.
they could get down and like keep it low when Marriott's like grooving.
Yeah,
and
they had.
Could go from piano to
We're
organ.
still waiting for a
It's
singer and
totally
a guitar
good.
player, Nick. A singer and a guitar player, Nick.
Nobody
Well, you know,
mentioned that. What about
I have
Buddy
a
Miles, too?
side note here, or a question. Who was that drummer that played with Santana at Woodstock? That was
Michael
one of the
Shreve.
most.
Michael Shreve.
Who was it?
Michael Shreve.
Still alive.
What is he doing now? Because dude, that
He's
was
not
like
dead.
the
He's not
most
dead.
amazing drum performance
But
I
he's
have
not
ever
dead.
heard.
He's not dead. These people
Oh,
have to be dead.
I'm not saying put him. I was just a side.
Focus,
focus,
Nick.
focus.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to give it Hendrix then. You know, because look,
all right. That's. I mean, that's no slouch. Okay. All right. So who's your singer? Who's your singer?
You don't know.
People
say that you're
Prince.
tremendous.
Prince. No one picked Prince.
Dude,
well, Prince can play guitar
that's
too and
absolutely
keyboard.
true, dude. I've been on a Prince kick for 2 weeks now. All my Prince records are all over here right now.
Hey, I can actually appreciate that, man, because Prince. I thought about multi-instrumentalist, multiple singer. So Prince can sing, play keyboard, play guitar.
You can play drums.
You're good.
Whatever you wanted.
You can play percussion.
Dude.
He taught Sheila E. That's a good choice. Yeah.
So here's a quick story about Prince. So when Rolling Stone,
we didn't want a story, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, you're getting one.
We didn't ask for stories.
That was the most David Lee Roth I ever seen you.
So the role of Bobby,
you know when he goes in his deep voice, like he's going da 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 da. Well, you're getting one.
Yeah.
The role of Bobby Gass has already been cast. Okay. So
Okay. Well,
so you know.
I'm gonna try to recreate him right now. So
Okay.
Rolling Stone did an issue of 100 best guitar players. Okay. And
Yeah, I know.
Prince ended up on that cover, but not in the list of 100 best guitar players. So at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and there's video of this, of him playing
While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Yes.
You've seen it.
Oh yeah, everyone.
Everybody has.
Okay, and Prince does like the most insane performance I've ever heard, and at the end of it, he
throws his guitar up and it disappears.
Throws it behind his back, and his
roadie
Here's
gets
crazy,
the fucking.
Here's what's crazy.
I couldn't even believe how the roadie fucking.
Yeah, I mean.
But here's the thing about him. He could play the bass that good. He could play the drums that good. He was like a virtuoso at every level.
Yeah. You know,
Steve, all while choreographed dancing.
Yeah.
All while like arranged dance moves are happening. Like anyone else has got to stand there looking down at their pedals or, you know.
But Rick Beato's alive. Rick Beato's alive, George. They have to be dead. They have to be dead.
R.I.P. Rick Beato, right?
Yes, I know. That's kind of funny.
And rest in piss, who? Who rests in piss?
Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah. That was one of the funniest things I think I've ever heard. Like, you know, on certain streams, you can kind of remember like the high points over the years.
I'll never forget that moment where he goes rest in.
Dude,
I'll never forget that ever.
So. The Advent calendar one.
Oh yeah.
Dude.
That Advent calendar smells like pee.
Yeah.
Hey. No one picked Rick James for anything. He hasn't come up.
So we should have a category like, you know, best.
I love that guy. I could see a great fan of Rick James.
Best rap record, best rap sheet, like, you know, best criminal record, like, you know.
What are people's here? I know this is not really a hip hop crowd, but if you had to pick your favorite hip hop album, what would it be?
Snoop Dogg.
Paul's Boutique.
Okay, see, I would be stuck between that one and Raising Hell.
De La Soul's debut is awesome.
But
I'm not a hip hop guy.
That's a monkey wrench, dude.
De La Soul and Paul's Boutique.
I really like the second Outcast.
Hey,
David Crosby almost made my list as a vocalist or an auxiliary musician because he's such a great harmonizer.
He would win as the best villain.
He would be the best harmony vocalist. Period. Would be him.
Ed, who would be your favorite hip hop band or album?
It's like, I have no idea. I don't listen to hip hop at all.
Really? Okay.
He's like going, my guitar player was Mark Real.
His favorite hip hop single is "I'm the Man" by Anthrax.
Yeah. You know what's funny that I didn't even realize until like maybe 5-10 years ago?
No, Ace of Base is not
the
hip-hop.
guitar part in "I'm the Man" is Have Nagila.
Of course it is.
Yeah. I did, dude. That went for like until like 5 years ago.
They were Jewish cats from the Bronx. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It was not an accident. Yeah.
Nick, my favorite hip hop album is the debut from the Gravediggers.
Oh yeah, that is a good one.
It's almost like a heavy metal hip hop.
There's an EP by a guy named Mac Dre who got murdered here in Northern California, and it's really obscure, but he's got an EP that's really good. I like a lot. I like it a whole lot.
That Digital Underground. You remember that Digital Underground?
Yeah.
That was really good. I'm
not
not necessarily throwing out. Yeah, I'm not necessarily throwing out as the best record, but that was a good record for my era.
Oh yeah, that was good, John. That was a great one. They were kind of in with that Us 3 crowd, weren't they?
They were like hip. Like, I don't know the scenes. I was a rock guy, you know, but
me too.
That one worked.
So everything I know about rap, I learned from Alex and Disco Devil because he sent me all this stuff. A lot of really cool stuff, you know. But I mean, everything I've ever
the Run
know
DMC records were always great.
Oh yeah,
you know, I'm just 101 kind of guy.
I do know a couple of those. I will say that.
LL Cool J, Bigger, and Depper is pretty high up there too.
Yeah.
See, we're all old fuckers at this point, so we're gonna pick the guys
Dr. Dre's
from
Chronic.
the late 80s up to 95 is our hip hop knowledge.
Yeah.
The first Snoop Dogg album.
The World
what about you,
Destruction,
Vince? Would it be the
African
one?
Bambaataa with Johnny
you
Lydon.
go,
That
Nick.
was
For me, I don't know. I'd
Yeah,
kind of
that's
towards
it,
the
man.
Beastie Boys.
Yeah. Is that an original?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that
Do
too.
things like that are those collectible now? Do people want like a? 'Cause I know like an original Nas Illmatic. Oh, I'm gonna go get my Paul's Boutique and save you all business.
It was listed at $8.98, but our price was $7.25.
Oh, dude. I mean,
I can't see what this one was. This is one of them where they used to rip off the middle of the.
Oh yeah, that was
Like,
from
yeah.
Music
Kmart
Nerd or
used to
something
do
like
that pretty
Yeah.
good too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was Kmart.
so has Patrick left us to our own devices, or
But this is worth having just
break
for Rock the
something.
Bells. Rock the Bells is just one of those perfect songs.
Was it radio on that or something too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, that's the
the only-
first song on side A. I Can't Live Without My Radio, and the first song on side B is Rock the Bells.
Yeah, I got that record. The only LL I got, I think. And maybe
Here's a later one
45.
for you, Nick.
Oh yeah, is that like a what's the Obi on that about?
No, it's Vinyl Me Please.
Oh, okay. You know,
Is that a sealed record?
Please... Sorry,
that?
what? Ed?
Is that a sealed record?
A what?
That DMX, was that still sealed?
Yeah, Vinyl Me Please doesn't seal their records.
Oh, okay.
They just put it in one of those Japanese sleeves.
Yeah.
So, I've had those tear the backs of albums. From,
Yeah.
You know, I think.
Well, no, they do it the other way. It's on this part. So
Yeah,
they-
right. If you put a record on top of that, it's
Yeah.
not as bad as when it was on the, the flap. But
Yeah.
What about everyone's? Like, have we done like, I'm not here enough to really say this, but have you guys done like your top favorite like punk bands, or do you feel like that's another kind of like rap thing where you know?
No, we haven't done any.
No,
we haven't really
different.
done any punk yet.
Yeah. I think we could do a good punk one.
We
Punk or-
do a
punk
punk
or
one,
funk?
and I'll be here for the punk one. I'll make
You're talking about punk or funk?
punk.
Okay.
But funk is a good one too.
Word Up would be number one. That's still a perfect fucking song. Every time that
Yeah.
song comes, I crank it.
It
I
is.
still love
It's
that
great.
song. I remember
You know
watching
what's a
them
great-
on Saturday Night Live when that came out.
Oh,
okay.
he was on SNL.
What's that?
You just said that was a song. That it
No, I
was
said
on
Word Up. I remember when Word Up came out.
Yeah, watch
And they
the
were on
word,
SNL.
a word up.
Steve, do you know the Boss
Cameo.
Haas version?
Word
The
up.
German band?
Yeah, that's great.
That
Yeah.
is the best.
Cameo.
You know who else has a really good version is Korn. Korn did it on their Greatest Hits
Oh, yeah.
album. It's
It
man,
is cool.
they killed it
That was good. Yeah.
because he does that real. He slams the bass.
Yeah.
All right. So
What? So is it going to be top 5 punk for next week? Because I'll make sure I'm here.
hey Nick,
I
don't you dare come up here and try to fucking dictate.
Yeah,
schedule,
I don't
okay?
see Patrick.
Don't even fucking do that shit.
Yeah, I don't think
This is a Van Halen crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Don't
know,
try to fucking railroad
worth
me
a
and
try.
fucking yeah.
We didn't play one Van Halen song.
No.
I might
So-
have to cancel my
so-
Who request.
So here's my.
Oh!
so here's my- that's what I found today. What is this? Is it a comp?
Is that a real one?
Yeah.
Dude, you know what? I had mint copies of Plastic Surgery Disasters, Frankenchrist, and what's another very early one that I got at this place? $5 each, okay?
I paid
Fresh fruit,
$5
rotten
for this.
vegetables, or
Yeah.
In God We
Yeah.
Yes,
Trust.
that was
That's
it.
a
And it was
compilation, Patrick.
Yeah.
You have a compilation.
That was
It's
good though.
really good. It's got singles. It's got obscure
Yeah, it's
tracks.
got all their hits on
It's
it.
got the dedication song to Rick Wakeman.
No, it
I like
doesn't
short
really.
songs. This
Hey,
one
who
was
is
out
not
to Rick
dead, by the way,
Wakeman.
who's not dead, by the way. Contrary to Bobby
That one
Cat.
has Rawhide on it too, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Well,
Rawhide.
yeah.
It might have like Police Truck. I
Well,
can't,
Nick,
it's not
Nick,
like
are you-
Yeah, no,
are you-
Police
are you
Truck
gonna
is
make me
on
a
there.
mono box
Nazi
for that
Punch is
freaky
on there.
silence?
Oh, yeah. Let's do
California
a trade. I'll
Morales is
do
on there.
a mono box.
Let me make sure I
Yeah.
still have the freaky silence stuff besides the field one.
And the drummer's dead now, right? From Dead Kennedy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dead Kennedys. That was my original introduction to punk back in the late '70s,
lot of
early
us,
'80s.
yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
They were my introduction to hardcore. I think the Clash was my
Yeah, we
introduction
called them
to punk.
hardcore at the time. I
Yeah.
mean, they're kind of not now, but
When they came out, though, that was
I know,
a whole
but
nother
we
level.
called that hardcore.
Yeah.
And actually, then Bad Brains first out came out, and they took it to a whole nother level.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, I've told you, Bad Brains is one of the bands that I have collected the entire discography. I'm not missing any of it. Actually, there is one that I'm missing, just one. But I had all of them, but I was missing two. And one of them was the what's the dub one, John? You know it, not Eye Against Eye, but
The one before that.
it came out in like 91 or 2001.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't have any 2000.
Are you talking about Rise? That was like.
Oh no, it was an original press at that time.
Okay, well, we have to talk because all I have is the Abbey Road EP, and I have a sealed Freaky Styly, but I think the Freaky Styly sealed is worth more than the mono box.
Oh, you have the Abbey
you
Road
got
EP?
Red-
Yeah.
I have
I
that.
need that one.
Okay, I'll trade you the Abbey Road EP for the mono box.
I need the Freaky Styly.
I thought you wanted the Abbey Road EP too.
No,
right?
I'll take both if you're willing to get. Those are the two I need to finish.
Well,
my
I
collection.
have a Freaky Styly sealed, which is worth like.
Did the Abbey
$300.
Road EP come out on vinyl?
Oh wait, whoa. Oh, see, I need that
there's
so
an OG.
badly, John. You want to?
I didn't know that
Nah.
came out on vinyl. I have it
Nah.
on CD.
Oh yeah,
That's the first
man.
album. That's the first album.
That,
goes for
see,
like
I have a
140.
reissue of that.
Uplift Mojo. That's
These
my
are all
favorite right
OGs.
there. Mother's Milk.
Yeah, those are, that's all I bought up through Blood Sugar, and I'm done after that.
So I saw them in the 80s, Nick. I want to say it was 87. They opened
Oh.
for Fishbone. I didn't know who they were.
yeah,
Oh, man, that would have been a great show.
What was your request, John, that I missed? So because I don't. See
I
it.
had the Who, the Seeker, but I
Okay.
said we'll change it out for Van Halen.
Hey, Nick,
But
have you ever seen
I like the
movie
Who,
Bad
the Seeker.
Dudes with
That's
the
what-
Red Hot Chili
what
Peppers?
Van Halen?
I just
sorry,
meant
what?
we didn't do a song because Eddie died. You
There's
know,
a
do you
movie
want?
called Bad
What do you want
Dudes
from Van
from like
Halen?
the early '80s about some
I don't
like
know.
retired gangsters getting
I
back,
can
and the
pick a
Cradle Will
album.
Rock. How's that?
and they enter a club,
Okay.
and the Red Hot Chili Peppers are playing live on the stage.
Oh, awesome! What year is it?
It was like Freaky Styly era, I want to say.
Okay,
It was early.
You
Yeah,
know-
it was earlier.
Yeah, my
I
Sarah
actually-
saw them a bunch in the early days. You know,
Well,
She
there
was-
what was the Jewish guy that were the original guitar player?
a little
oh,
Slovak.
Hillel
Yeah,
Slovak,
yeah.
and then there was also
He was really good too.
Who's the Jack Irons?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what show I saw was, and this was John. You'll remember this venue, the Rock Point Palladium.
No, I don't. But I
Okay,
grew up
it
in
was
New
just
York
like
in the
this weird
80s.
little
You know,
club
George, why don't you just
that-
get out of bed and fucking come up and hang out, dude? You like chatting your
Yeah.
ass off anyway, so what the fuck don't you just get up and come up, dude?
I'm gonna slide out of here. I gotta work
Good
tomorrow.
one.
So.
Yeah, see,
Ed, good hanging out with your brother. Great band. Great heavy metal band,
Mike
brother.
Vince is one of the
Have a
best
great
guys
night, dude.
numbers I've seen live, man. That guy was so fucking good.
Later, Ed. Have a good one,
I'm
Ed.
glad you're so open to a fucking rap there. Session there, Ed,
so-
yeah.
At Rocky Point Palladium, I saw the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and the opening bands were Smashing Pumpkins and Pearl Jam.
Yeah, that was their first tour.
I had no idea what the hell I was there for Red Hot Chili Peppers, but the whole show was one of those shows where you're like, whoa, the whole thing is killer. You know, I mean, you know how it is going to a live show. The
Yeah.
first bands are usually awful.
Unemployed.
That was nuts. And you know what? I was still young enough that I would go to shows. Like, I wasn't drinking at shows, you know, like a couple of years later, you know, you go to a show and you start drinking.
You'd have the wristband if you drank. They'd let you in under 21. Yep.
That's what I love about this upcoming Metallica show. That kind of takes me back to what the shows were back in the late 80s, because it's Metallica, Pantera, and Suicidal. You don't see
Have you seen
like
Junior Parade?
Yeah.
You saw that a show of? I saw Slayer Pantera, and I think it was some like thrash death metal band. Napalm Death, I think.
Oh wow.
Wait, who did you say you saw?
No, I'm saying that's the tour coming up. It's Metallica,
Okay.
Pantera, and Suicidal Tendencies.
I mean, they're all.
And you don't see tours like that anymore. Those are all still headliners, you know.
Overjoyed.
That thing sold out quick as fuck for one show they're doing here.
It's too bad it's one show. Hopefully, Metallica figures out the set list.
Oh wait, what?
Because they were doing 2 nights. Every city they were doing 2 nights.
They still are, but I don't know why they did Atlanta once.
And Five Finger Death Punch.
Did they open? Did those bands open both
I
nights?
can't remember who the
Or was it
band-
different openers?
It was different openers each night. It was 2 openers. But I missed
Mammoth and Pantera, and then Ice Kills 9 and Five Finger Death Punch.
Yeah, and it rained out. Like, we were postponed for rain, so they canceled that Ice band. So I saw Five Finger Death Punch and the Metallica.
Well, I've been going 3.5 hours, and YouTube is okay with that, man. But today, at 3 hours, they fucking cut my ass off. So I don't get it.
Right.
Are you shut?
No, I'm not shut. No, I'm just saying. It's kind of weird how they do it. I don't understand the rhyme or reason.
There's a lot of talking. More talking.
That's true. Very true.
Yeah, Meshuggah, I don't know, man.
Did you do
I liked them when I first heard them. Now all their stuff kind of sounds the same to me.
So now we have 2 people dead in this
So
band.
I've
We
still
have
never
Tommy
seen
Bolin and John Lord are both dead in this band.
Well, I'm sorry. Who sounds the same to you, Steve?
No, I was saying I liked Meshuggah when they first. Somebody mentioned Meshuggah. Eddie
Oh
mentioned Meshuggah.
yeah.
I liked them when I first heard them, but now all their stuff just sounds the same to me.
Good night, John. Good hanging out with your brother.
See you, John.
John.
Good to see you.
See ya, man.
It was kind of fun with the Dead band. The Dead band is kind of it was definitely unique.
It's fun having just something to argue about and debate.
Yeah. Oh, Patrick, did you see I took care of what I owed you for the Dead Elf record?
I did. Did you want me to hang on to it till you send me the box, or do you want me to send it back to you?
Send that to me if you don't mind. Yeah.
No problem.
Because
I've
been looking for one of those with the gold label literally for 10 years.
Then I guess this will make you happy.
Yeah, it will. That's what I want. Yes, it will.
We didn't have Into the Pandemonium, and I said them. What was the last Celtic Cross record?
Cold Lake?
No, the last.
Oh, the one after. It was the one word. I don't have that one.
It's almost like
out
a
in the
'90s.
90s. Yeah.
I sent them that
So
one.
when are my Russian reflectors coming? So hang on, I got my second pair of reflectors coming. So.
Oh, you like them that much? How much are they, and where'd you get them from?
I got them from the Ukraine.
Oh yeah, the tubes. I bought tubes from Russia and shit. Obviously, you can't do it now, but I mean that's where half.
Ooh, they'll be here tomorrow. Yes, they're in Sacramento. So yes, they'll be here tomorrow. I'll have both preamps will have reflectors in them. So yes, I'm happy.
Have you heard about this new company that's making tubes in the U.S.?
No, these are from 1975.
No, I know.
Western Electric is making
there's a new
300
company making
Bs,
tubes.
12
Everybody's saying they have 50s and 60s sound to them.
So Patrick,
go ahead.
You how would you compare the Amperex with the reflectors. And have you tried like RCA?
Yes, I've got 5778. I've done those. So well, the 5778s are different. So hang on.
Yeah, the 73. That's an extra volt, but you don't. Go ahead.
So I've had the Amperix, the G-Getters. I've had I currently have the Telefunkens, the 1960s from the Ohm plant.
Those are great.
Quote unquote holy grails of those. And now in the Chinook, I have the 2 reflectors, the 1975. It's got to be 1975 reflectors because the Chinook has like the main output gain stage and the fucking.
No, it was Mono Theus. I sent them Mono Theus there.
Not Vanity. What's the other thing called? It's not the main thing. Whatever the reactive, whatever the fuck it's called.
The resistive loading.
Yeah, whatever. So those, I put the Telefunkens in there and the reflectors in the main output stage. Okay.
Okay.
So when I get these reflectors tomorrow, I'll put those in. So the Black Ice only has an output stage for the tubes. I'll replace the Telefunkens that are in there with the reflectors, and then I'll test it because I've got my Ted Nugent Stranglehold. I'll do a Ted Nugent Stranglehold.
Are they new
that's
old
a test record for you.
Yes, they're for 1975.
You do need to let them go for a while before you just put them in and test them.
Well, they've already been burned through. So, but yeah. So I've got my Ted Nugent Stranglehold that I've done every hardware change I've ever done. I'll do one with the reflectors and Telefunkens in the Chinook, and the reflectors in the Black Ice, and I'll do the Telefunkens with Black Ice and all that shit.
You're gonna try different tubes and different.
I will let y'all hear every bit of it. I'll let y'all hear Stranglehold. I'll let you listen to download Stranglehold and compare all of it. Whether the reflectors, the fucking Telefunkens, or the Amperix. I've got them all done.
Nice. You know, I have a John Bandy has a budgie too, and I don't know what kind of tubes he has in it, but I have like a few. Like I had maybe 4 or 5 matched pairs of Bugle Boys. And you know,
the U.S. Bugle Boys or the Dutch Bugle Boys? So.
No, the real ones.
Did you see Coroners coming?
I would go
Coroners
for like
doing their first U.S. tour in like 25 years.
The Philips Mini Watts are the ones you should get if you want to go that route.
The Philips Mini Watts.
Yeah, I can send you pictures, but
No, I know what it is. I've never heard them. I don't think.
So I can tell you what I like about the reflectors to me. Today when I was like selling the Led Zeppelin 4 album, which I've heard a million times in my life. Actually, I'll play a little bit of it. When this is done, I'll play some.
Please do.
Because on Stairway to Heaven, there was a guitar part in the right channel that I'd never ever heard before, ever.
Yeah.
And I've literally heard this album 1,000 times growing up with headphones on. And it's just cha-chunk, cha-chunk. And I was like going, what the fuck is that, man? I didn't say anything, but I was like, holy shit. So,
nice.
So the reflectors are almost like having a solid state amp with tube sound to it.
Yeah.
That's kind of how we're equating.
Yeah.
Very fast, but with the whole tube aesthetic to it.
That's actually very similar to how my Tavis is. It has like the accuracy of solid state, but it still has that, the tube, love around it.
Yeah, we're actually filling the screen talking about audio style shit.
And I think my Tavis takes 2 12AX7s and a U7, and the V3 is a cathode follower.
This almost sounds like a UFO cover of this song.
No, it's actually a Thunderclap Newman cover.
No, I know it's Thunderclap Newman, but it almost sounds like UFO is covering it.
Gamma, though, was a funny band. Like, I didn't like the first record. The second record was really good, and the third record kind of sucked.
Yeah, they were, yeah, the first album was okay. Second album was great. The third album was, like, kind of shitty,
Paul was in this band, though. It was a couple big names, wasn't it?
Well, it was like Sammy Hager's rhythm section, I think, and then Davey Pattison, who went on to sing with Robin Trower, was the singer.
Anyone want some Benadryl? Is
I get
you
popping it
know,
all day.
Now he's peddling drugs.
or should dude, I want to like poke like
You know
Yeah,
what,
that's
man?
rid of
You
the
know you're
pressure.
old when
Oh,
you
this is
offer your
the-
friends Benadryl.
This is 2.
yeah, I'm back
this
on
is
the horse.
This is the best one.
Yeah,
That's
this is the second
What,
one.
John?
I don't have this one.
It's
I
got
never
the shark going through the land shark going through the
Which one is that in your hand, John?
This
Yeah,
is the
what is
first
that?
one, I think.
That's one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's got thunder and
The first one's
lightning.
not
and
that
I
good.
thought it was
Razor
this.
Red-
That's why I
Razor
No,
found it.
that
King.
second one's really good.
I never liked
This
it.
is the
I
this
never
is the
gave it a
manly.
chance.
Well, there's no preamp right now because I'm playing through the foo bar. But when I do this, it'll be the manly Chinook in a minute.
That I saw a couple minutes of your auction. That the moving pictures sounded amazing on my head on my little ear pods.
I'm telling you, man, that it sounds really good, man. All right, so here we go.
So what I was saying is March, Coroner will be here for the first time in a long time. But they're
Audio,
playing Boston,
mic.
they're playing Chicago. They're only doing like 10 shows.
Okay, so pardon me, we're gonna try this. So
Yeah.
don't get mad about listening to Stairway to Heaven, but I'm telling you, it's worth the wait. It's worth the listen.
That's gonna get a shut
Isn't
down.
it nuts
No, it's
when
not.
new like equipment does that to you?
Vance will be happy we're playing Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
So
Oh, you're going.
it comes with the
Stairway.
theme. So when the music hits after the vocals, listen in the right channel for this like cha-chunk with the guitar. I never heard this before ever in my life, and I've listened to this album 1,000 times. Maybe I'm just didn't register, but I heard this little cha-chunk. So hopefully it comes again. If it's not, I'm gonna fucking be pissed. But I'm gonna look stupid. But I'm telling you.
What part of the song are we hear?
Yeah, where is it?
Like after it goes, as we wind on down the road, like towards that part, like towards the end of the song. We'll listen to the whole thing. So
This
Just
is
like-
so getting shut down in like 30
no,
Yeah, I
it's
was gonna
not.
say.
It's not. It'll be fine.
Keep talking until it gets to the part.
Oh.
Everyone starts saying the alphabet.
You know, there's a lot worse songs than this to listen to, people. Seriously.
I don't know
hell
where
yeah.
I would have thought. If I had told myself 30 years ago I'd be listening to Stairway to Heaven in 2024 again.
Jesus.
As
So
opposed to
true,
what?
dude.
As opposed to what? Like fucking like Sex Pistols?
I don't know. Like I'd already heard this song. No, Sex Pistols throw that in there too.
But that's the cool thing though. Like I'm telling you, man, there's this piece that I've never heard before, and I want to see it. I haven't listened back to it since then, but I remember during the auction, like going, "Holy shit, I've never heard this before."
Who got it from you?
I think Nicole did. Yeah, Nicole did.
Did it go for a lot, or was it like a?
$44?
Oh, that's well worth it.
Yeah.
Which one is it? Is it the?
So it's a record club pressing, but it has the Pecco Duck and Pecco George Piros on it. So it uses the original plates, but it's the cleanest one I've ever seen. So
Wow.
So which signal
That's
tubes
nice.
are using Kelly's? So in the Manly Chinook right now, I have in the what did you call that? The resistor? What would you call the secondary tubes in yours?
The resistive load and the capacitive load.
Yeah, the non-output, the non-sound affecting quote unquote tube, which it does affect sound, but not as much as the output tube. I have Telefunkens that I got from Upscale Audio, really expensive ones, and then the output tubes are now Russian reflectors from 1975.
Are you finding those for like not too much money, or are you paying up for?
$1,000 a pair.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Dude, you know how I've gotten some of the best tubes in my collection is
garage sales.
No. People coming into the shop and wanting their amp retubed. And they don't realize that it's really just the power tubes.
Yeah.
Preamp tubes, I mean, any guitar players here know that preamp tubes, they last for fucking ever.
I'll leave
So
my
I would
shit on
think-
all the time, man. I'll leave it on. I leave them on for years, so I don't turn them off ever.
Oh,
Because
I
that's
turn
what
off
wears
my
out your
tube-
shit.
My tube
That's what-
shit gets turned off.
I don't, because that's what ruins your shit. Because it's that power surge that
Yeah,
fucking goes
I
through it all the
know.
time.
I know.
I've never had a tube go bad. So
Just get a
I haven't
Variac,
either.
Patrick.
What? these people come in and they want their amp retuned, and I'll stick them all in the tube.
This better be a good ka-chunk, Patrick, that I'm sitting through this.
Yeah.
I appreciate you suffering for me, John. I appreciate it. I've suffered for you, my friend, more than
Oh,
once.
I know. I'm just teasing. But geez,
We suffer
that would
for each
happen.
other. Musically, we suffer. Steve's like going, I'm going to die.
I remember as a kid, but this is one of the songs or one of the albums I remember laying on my bed and just listening to over and
Exactly. That's why it freaked me out when I heard this, because I would literally sit with headphones on.
Yeah, but I
I'd
would
rather hear
in
like
my
a.
head.
I would love to hear like a oh shit or something I never heard. Like,
You
I fucked that up, Rob.
You know what, man? If nobody else hears this, I'm gonna feel so bad, like a fucking idiot. Like
No,
That's
we'll,
what I
I'm
loved
sure
about
we'll
when the
hear it.
Beatles did. What were the double CDs that the Beatles did in the 90s?
But listen how clean this
But
is.
does anybody
There's
remember
nothing-
laughing?
It is.
Look how clean this is.
Yeah.
I remember
so
laughter. I'm laughing now.
Let me finish real quick. The people that bring in their amps with the old tubes, like there's Mullards and Telefunkins and all these awesome tubes. And I'll
You're saying
put
right
them on
before the
tester
guitar solo,
and say,
Patrick?
These are still
Yeah, it's coming
good.
up. It's coming
They
up real
say,
soon.
I don't care. I want new tubes. Okay.
Yeah, but for my preamps, man, the Mullards weren't made by Muller. They were done by fucking Amperex. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you need the real UK.
I had when I had like a preamp before this, like the tube box, I had like Mullers. I had like legit UK Mullers. They're very thick and kind of muddy.
I hope
sounding.
so.
Yeah. And, I like RCA probably the best because they're so balanced.
Yeah, I had some of those WAH 57, 78s of RCAs. That's what I ended up
yeah.
with, like using those. Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
those
the
are
tube
awesome.
number?
Yeah.
So my Telefunkins are ECC 83s.
No, the 60J8s are ECC 88 or 6922.
Yeah.
Or 7308 if you get those, which are
No,
higher,
so
but they
the
work
reflectors. The reflectors are ECC 88, 6922, or E88CC. That's what it is.
Yeah. 12AX7 is 83 and 12AU7 is 82. 12AX and 12AU. Where's
go.
the part?
It's
Is it
coming.
coming up?
I don't know, man. I just heard it while I was doing the option, so hang on. It's not going to kill you to hear Stairway to Heaven, I promise you.
No, I'm just
close.
wondering.
Getting close.
Tell us to shut the fuck up when it's coming.
I don't know when it's coming. I just randomly played it today.
Okay, so we're into it too.
It's on this part. So.
Vance, don't forget about the coming up. Yeah.
Right there. Right there. Right there. Oh, you missed it.
No, I heard it.
You just talk about the staccato playing? I don't know.
Yeah.
In the right channel, that little staccato.
I think that's always been there. No?
Yeah.
I've never noticed it.
I
ever in
haven't
my
heard
life.
one thing new.
Yeah,
I had never heard that little. It's like very subtle. It's like 2 seconds.
Yeah, I think I'm with John. Like, I think
I've always heard that.
All right, you guys are fucking so much better.
No, I just that happens to me.
I
all
could
the
probably
time.
turn on the radio now on a random FM station. Wait within 10 minutes, and I'll hear it again.
Well, you suck, but yeah.
I'm just being. It's the end of the night, you know.
It was just that one moment where I could hear that little cha-chunk where I never really noticed.
I'm being a wise guy. You enjoyed.
I never.
You
noticed
had a
it
good
before.
listening experience. I've been there 100 times. Yeah.
Anyway, I sold that record for $44, so fuck y'all. So there you go.
Oh,
no.
I'll give you.
Sounded
50.
good.
Yeah, I'll give
Sound
you
like a good
50
version.
for it.
You know what? I don't think I've seen a 70s Zeppelin in a record other than like high dollar, like RLs and stuff. I don't think I've seen a 70s Zeppelin in the record stores in probably a year and a half, 2 years now.
I see them all the time, but
Yeah,
not less than
they're so overpriced.
But like
I skip the section because usually they have their own section, so I don't.
I see Houses of the Holy all the time.
All I see is the reissues.
Yeah, the
anymore.
RL one too.
Yeah,
I
see it all the time. I sold one today.
All of them, but they're all so like overpriced, like 50, 60. I'm like, come on.
But you have them.
I know I do, but I always go through. I always go through this section looking for like maybe a bootleg or something.
One of my local stores for years had a Israeli pressing, and it was like $200 for. It's like, this is the worst pressing of this record I've ever heard in my life. He never sold it. It was on the wall for like 6 years because he wanted $200 for it because apparently they only did a couple in Israel. But
yeah, I got one Israel press.
Like, where's the pressing plant in Israel? Like,
it's probably not there anymore.
You know, actually, like most of the UK, you know, protectorates, whatever the fuck you want to call them, Commonwealth, they got like UK parts when they shipped them to them. Like that's how I got that Uriah Heep, very heavy, very humble, for like $20 from South Africa, but it uses the same parts as the UK.
There's an Italian pressing of it that you can get for cheap too. That's the original UK parts.
If you want to, you just go search the UK matrix numbers and type it in the advanced search. And like, I know I'm not supposed to tell people this, but you can do that.
I'm the biggest one that says, Patrick, shut the fuck up, dude.
It's just like copy and paste those UK matrix numbers or US matrix. That's how I got that Stooges album from France for like $50. You know, the original Stooges, you know, it uses the Columbia Terre Haute US pressing plates, you know, and it sounds amazing. So you can do that all the time. Just use the advanced search.
Depends on the country too, though. Just because you have the plates, it could be crappy vinyl, crappy work.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I'm not saying France is very good, but I don't know. If I trust South Africa, not that they press it anymore. Or Israel.
Actually, Italy's pretty good. South Africa's pretty good.
You know, the Iranian record I have, I'm sure they sent the plates over, but it's like sand got in the vinyl.
The Iranian record is not going to be good because you have to point to Mecca when you put it on the turntable. So.
A camel walking by shoves some sand.
This is going nowhere fast. All right, people. It's been almost 4 hours, so I need to get out of here. I got to work tomorrow.
So do I.
Yeah, I do too. But I saw you guys
that was
up
a lot
here.
of fun. I appreciate you coming here.
I got to hang out.
12:55 in Chicago.
This was a fun hangout tonight.
It was fun. It was it was a blast. And George Borden, by God, come up one of these days, dude. I'm going to start sending you emails inviting you to come here. You're sitting here saying I'm in bed. Well, you know, Nick Panacy's kind of in bed by this point too. So, you know,
I woke up. I was talking to George before I came on, and I went, "Oh, they're still on. Okay, I'm going to jump on, say hello."
Yeah,
it was awesome catching you guys and being able to say hello, and listen to a few tunes.
Yeah, good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you on Tuesday. We have nothing planned on Tuesday. We'll just have a good time. So good night, everybody. Thank you for being here.
Vance.
Good night.
Thank you. Later.
And
leave.
Keep an eye out for my reflector streams. So yes.